Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for day 3 of the second test match. Currently, England trailing by 138 runs. They find themselves in a pretty similar position to what we did see Australia were in at the start of day 2. And now they've got a couple men who are slightly set here. Harry Brook doing very well, sitting on 45 off 51 deliveries. Ben Stokes at the other end on 17. And we were able to pick up those few big wickets yesterday, the Australians. Oh, only 138 behind for England here, so they'll be looking to probably almost score that in just this first session, depending on how aggressive they decide to go. But it looks like Mitchell Starc here is going to be the opening bowler for the second day. Now, Australia, they are 19 overs away from getting themselves that new ball. I believe that they will be able to get a couple wickets with it, but until then, I think England could find themselves quite a few runs on the ball. We've got there Sui from Ramdems also, or Ramdes, I should say. And weather forecast for London, no rain. That stayed low for Mitchell Starc's first delivery. I don't think many people were expecting that to skid on and stay as low as it did. And morning from England, and they've announced the England Rugby World Cup squad, says Harry and Luck. I did see that. Although it's weird, isn't it? Because they said they've got the official Rugby World Cup and then they put training squad in there. So that means that even though it seems like it's almost official that that's going to be their team, it's still not quite their team that they are going to be using. It's just the official training squad that they're going to be going with. My lighting's being very weird at the moment. Every time I turn my head, I turn to a different color. And then, yeah, it's a bit strange. I emailed the Hurricanes asking if I can please get a Hurricanes jersey. They did. It arrived in the GPS on ISO stocked. But am I allowed to support two teams? I support the Highlanders too. Says Max, did you ask the Highlanders for a kit? Or did you just go with the Hurricanes in that case, Max? And I hope some will be dropped, says Harry and Lark. So yeah, it seems it's the wider World Cup squad, isn't it, that they've gone with. And I mean, there's some pretty decent names. Oh, that's gone up and that's out for Ben Stokes, I believe. And Mitchell Starc, only about 3 balls into the day already, has been able to get himself the wicket. Cam Green, great take there on the gullies. Stokes disappointed. Have started the day actually a little bit similar to what we saw for Alex Carey for the Australians at the start of day 2. But the pace, that one, Stokes tried to work it to the leg side. And Cam Green gets it in the hands, was not letting that one slip through the fingers. And now England, they find themselves under that little bit more pressure at the start of day 3. That is not the wicket they would have been after. That is for sure. And also we've got the clapping there from Peter and also ball bags, says Tony there. Yeah, that's an eventful way to start the second, I guess, the second day of England's batting. The third day of the test match. Looks like now Johnny Bairstow will be making his way out to the middle. Stokes, he'll be disappointed. He would have been thinking about his innings all night. My favourite player is Val Rapava Ruskin, and I believe Marco Vunipola is injured. So if he is still injured by the World Cup, then Val is in for England. And nope, I've already bought a Highlanders jersey. I'm not from Dunedin. I was saying it before. So stocked or stoked. Is it stoked? Maybe? Misspelled, sorry. Is Max. Winding up the arms here, Johnny Bairstow. And Stokes is a very good bat. Very lucky to remove him before he got his eye and says Peter. Yeah. And I would say that Australia, the next 2 wickets are going to be crucial. If they can get rid of Brook, who has been scoring relatively freely, he does end up maybe picking up Johnny Bairstow. That is a batsman that they will want to see the back of sooner rather than later. Rugby history has been made. They'll be the first ever champions versus champions in club rugby. It's Munster versus Crusaders. Has been announced for February 2024. Bring it on. It's an interesting one though, isn't it? Because it's during the Six Nations, which means Munster are going to be missing their Irish internationals. So in some regards, I mean, it's great that it's going to be taking place. I feel like the scheduling though is just a little bit off for it. But yeah, it will be very intriguing to see how it goes. I believe the Crusaders are also going to be taking on the Bristol Bears as the other part of their Northern Hemisphere tour. I'm not sure if Munster have got any other games they've got in the future, or are they might be facing Saracens rather than the Bristol Bears, perhaps. And hey, Amish, I got a live stream on Tuesday. You're going to do interviews on that day, says Brandon. Tuesday. What's on a Tuesday? Tuesday's actually the day that the under-20 Rugby World Cup next round is on, isn't it? I went to 200 games for the first time this season. I love having Sky Sport. Here's Max. Now Stark. 2 slips in the gully. Pitched up outside off stump. Bairstow leaves it alone. Like they've said, the history between these two players. 9 times Stark has been able to get Bairstow out. So it's not quite to the stage of the Stuart Broad, David Warner scenario. And also, Munster won't have any Irish players missing. After all, to wear green, you have to play in blue. So he's got, although they might have a couple of them blokes getting into the Irish team. That may not be as many as if they were to play Leinster, of course, but you never know. That's the best way I look at it. I'd like to think after becoming URC champs, that would at least help a couple guys get their name up there a little bit more. G Stark looks like a rugged old testicle these days. Says Distracted Sports. He still knows how to pick up wickets, though, even if he is a rugged testicle, as you've called him. There's a good take from Cam Green, though, out to his side, almost a little bit similar to the Ollie Pope one in the first innings. Just reading a message there. I've been chatting to quite a few of the lads tonight. Me and Isaac, we were on a call for a little bit before. From Bairstow, and that will be an easy 4 runs, I'd like to think, unless, of course, it pulls up in a quick hurry, but it won't do, and that will be 4 runs for Bairstow to get his innings underway. Are you doing the Under-20 World Cup, says Brandon? We are hoping to. It will just depend a little bit on how ballsy we're feeling, but I think we will end up doing some of the Under-20. I was very confused, though, at why there were no Under-20s games on YouTube yesterday, even though before, the week prior we saw 4 of the games. I know that New Zealand, they struggled up against France. I saw that South Africa, they were defeated by Italy. Saw Australia, they were defeated by Ireland. England got beaten by Fiji. Pretty much every Southern Hemisphere side got beaten. Nicely done. And also, I've got a photo with Artie and Geordie. So can I support Hurricanes and the Highlanders? I brought Aaron Smith memorabilia coin. I mean, as long as you like rugby, you can support more than one team in a way. Because, yes, you're going to have your favourite side, but it makes it very hard with the amount of transfers that happen nowadays to just stick to one team, if that makes sense. Because you look at someone like, let's say you were a fan of Beauden Barrett when he was at the Canes. Now he's at the Blues, and you still like Beauden Barrett. So it's like you kind of like the Blues, but you're still a Canes boy as well, because you also like the Canes because you're from there or something along those lines. So it makes it a little bit tricky. But as long as you just like rugby, that's the main thing. That's a very impartial answer, isn't it? And Springbok team visit the Wallabies coming out next Tuesday, says Yarnley Brandy. It's going to be interesting to see who they pop in there for that first matchup. That will be a 3 a.m. kickoff or somewhere around there for the Kiwi viewers, which is going to be rough. The Aussie one's about 1 a.m. somewhere around there as well on 4th of July, says Yarnlu. Shot, do you want color commentator for the session? Says Tony. Is that for this session, Tony, or one of the later ones today? I assume this session because you like sleeping when it's dark. Why does my lighting keep on doing that? I think it's just the angle. Look at that. Every time I move, it's like I'm at some sort of disco, but I'm not really. There we go. It's just going boom, boom, boom. Game on. Tony Munster vs Crusaders for February 2024. Short ball there from Pat Cummins for the first delivery to Harry Brook. I expect a very strong Munster side from Roundtree. Well, they will take this fixture like a real final after all. Why wouldn't you? Against the best New Zealand has to offer. There's Connor there. I hope they do anyway, because there's also the chance that it gets used as a game to try and give a few of those other guys in the Munster squad a chance before the URC season gets underway. They could look at it as more of a training type scenario, because we have seen that done in the past. That's a nice shot from Brook. How sometimes the teams go with slightly different look sides in those other matches. And on the coin, I got Aaron Smith number. At the time he had his debut, it was $60. Says Max there. And who are the semi-finalists for the Rugby World Cup 2023? It's a tricky one. I mean, from what we've seen for France in terms of their senior team and also their under-20 side, like they are looking very solid. There was actually a drop catch from Marnus Labuschagne. I didn't realize it went straight to him, but it went through the hands from Marnus. It's actually hit him in the wrist almost. Completely missed the hand. This session says, Tony, I can flick you through a invite as long as, of course, you are on your best behaviour, Tony, even though your best behaviour is still dodgy enough, but that's all right. Here we go. Invite has gone through. France and Ireland will choke at the Rugby World Cup, says Max. That's what they want you to think. No one really wants to be called as the favourite in this World Cup, I don't think, because there are so many sides that could end up causing upsets. You'd much rather be a side that's considered about maybe fourth or fifth or third or so and just slowly work your way up throughout the games, work your way towards those big playoff games. How's it going, mate? Says D's doing very well, mate. You are well also. It's not just for that. This should be a major step forward and the proposed Club World Cup has been talked about in World Rugby. And give me 10 minutes, says Tony. And there as well, that is going to be nicely pitched up by Paddy Cummins. Nicely taken Pakistan or India, which is the better side. That is a question that there's no right answer because no matter what side you say, you're hated by a whole nation. You know, so they're both very good at cricket. Even that gets you hate, but both very solid, both good in their own ways, I would have to say as well. Brandon says, huge favour, YouTube not mad at me. So Maya back tomorrow. Only live stream what is not on Brandon channel was today. So YouTube's not mad at you, or at you anymore, Brandon. That sounds like it's ideal, really, because I know you were having trouble uploading, weren't you? And on the jersey, it's go the Super Rugby on the side. It's legit. Or it's got the Super Rugby on the side. It's legit. Says Max. So did you just like message the Hurricanes and say, hey, can I have a kit? And they were like, yeah. And then just flipped it through. Hey, Hamish says, Obi, welcome in, mate. Come on, England. Says Connor there as well. Bairstow made his way out to the middle a lot earlier today than he would have been anticipating. Wants to make sure he's not getting dismissed earlier than anticipated as well. 284 for 5, 63 overs down, so 17 away from the new ball. In my opinion, India are at a way higher class than Pakistan. They even beat Australia, says Ramdees. And I mean, India, wait, they even beat Australia. I assume we're talking test match cricket here. You know, of course, not in that World Test Championship final, because that one, the Aussies were able to take out. But, yeah, I mean, I would say consistency-wise, like consistently being near the top, India certainly do have a very good record. Converting it into championships and titles, it's a little bit different, unfortunately, for them, but they're always right up there and they're in with a crack. Pakistan are one of those sides who seem to go a little bit up and down, but when they're up, they're certainly up. New Zealand, South Africa chokers in the final and semi-finals, says Neutrino. And there as well. I mean, chokers is a harsh word, isn't it? But sometimes, you know, you're just beaten by a better side. And I guess the question mark has to be, of the sides that have beaten them, has anyone considered them as huge underdogs? You know, like New Zealand getting beaten by the Australians, like nothing really to be ashamed about there. Aussie, they've been a top side in the world for a very long time. Are you following the Rugby 20s? I am. I saw that the Southern Hemisphere did not have a run that they were liking, unfortunately, for that second round. The first round, they weren't too bad. New Zealand beating Wales. South Africa, they managed to get themselves the victory over Georgia, who did just recently beat Argentina about 20-0, which was a pretty impressive run. But, yeah, it's an interesting one overall. I heard you're looking to get rid of some because Adidas are making them next year, says Max. And they just gave them away. I mean, it's very generous of them, I guess. And Harry Brook has to be there till the last over. Tell you what, if he is, he's having 100 and something here, I would say. Are Ireland playing today? They did play yesterday up against the Australians, and they were victorious in their game. I think they won 30 points to 10 or somewhere around there. They are going to be playing up against the Fijians next Tuesday at 11:30. That sounded a little bit battish, but it might have been the thigh pad there for Johnny Bairstow. Johnny was looking at his bat, maybe trying to tempt the Aussies into using that review. I believe just off the thigh pad / hip. Yeah. Nice thick thigh pad sound. I got the last one too. Says Max, and hey mate, who do you think is better, New Zealand or Australia? So we talking cricket, we talking rugby, we talking test match, T20, ODI, countries in general. What are you talking, Ramdies? I'm going to need a little bit more, I guess, more specificness. And the Hamish, can I put over on your live stream with you and Tony, says Brandon. For now, we are just going to go with the two of us, just because this will actually be our first co-commentary on a cricket. So I want to make sure that co-commentary works before going into the full-on, like, whole panel, I guess you could say. Other than, of course, when I've had someone here with me, like Isaac or George. George joined us for a one, and also my parents have actually joined me for a little bit of cricket in the past as well. Hey, mate, listening from Zurich. Have I said that correctly? Zurich or Zurich? Thanks for the comments, Cecil. No worries. That's nicely worked off the pads by Bairstow. Down to Hazelwood, who's fielding at fine leg. With England being 5 down, you'd have to say Australia slightly more in the box seat here, just for now. Mainly because of the fact that, I mean, at 5 down, I believe the Aussies were sitting at about 320 or somewhere around there, although they did lose wickets in relatively quick succession after that point. 16 overs remaining till that new ball is taken by the Australians. I don't think they'll be messing around about it either. I think they'll be taking it as soon as possible. A bit of a shorter ball there from Stark again to Brook. That seems to be the tactic. Bang it into the turf. Of course, he could have actually been dismissed on 48 had that misfield from Marnus Labuschagne not taken place when he did drop that catch. And it's interesting because there's been quite a few catching chances that have been put down throughout this match. So for Cam Green, they are just showing some of his work in the gully region. He is always very handy. Just showing, they're just showing that Shipman Gill one. When he was dismissed, that got Shipman Gill in a lot of trouble because he went to Twitter and said that wasn't out. I think he ended up getting fined. Christopher Hamish, what is your best interviews you like the most? Says Brandon. Is that in general or just like on my channel, or like, yeah, what is the, that's Pla, or is it? No, little inside edge. Sorry, got a bit excited and then I realized that there was a second noise, which was the bat. I'm too keen to put my finger up. No wonder I'm not an umpire, or at least not an umpire very often. And Bairstow drops a few A. He does, unfortunately, although he did make a little bit of a change compared to what he did have in the first innings of the last test match. He actually adjusted what foot he was springing off. Rather than springing off the right, he was putting his weight on his left, which then allowed him to get towards the slip cordon a little bit more efficiently, which we did see in that dismissal of, I think it was actually David Warner, wasn't it? He ended up losing his wicket there. On Tony, or mine or yours, says Brandon. I mean, I have to say, as one of the interviews that I have been the fondest of was when I did interview Norm Maxwell, because like the fact that we have had an ex-All Black that we've been able to interview, we actually still keep in touch with him as well. Talk to him quite often, and he's kind of been like that, like rugby figure on the channel, if that makes sense. Hi mate, what's your channel name? It's the Kiwi Lads. If that's the question, which I think it is. Are you supporting G? Says mainly. I am pretty impartial in this one. I know that Australia took out the first test, so for the sake of the series, of course, it being 1-1 after the first two would be relatively handy. England, after Australia scoring that 416, they put themselves in a little bit of a hole that they have to try and dig out of, but it's not impossible as long as they keep this partnership going here a while. Don't allow their bowlers to the crease too early. The bat in hand, they should be all right and can get to about that even playing field before hitting too much further. But that's nicely bowled by Cummins again. Don't you have a channel by yourself? Or is this your own channel, says Ramdies? We have about 4 channels. Not many of them are active at the moment, but my own channel is this channel pretty much. Like we've got the Kiwi Lads Sport as well. You'll see me on that one. We've got the Kiwi Lads Entertainment. I'm on that one too. A couple other ones that don't really get anything uploaded on them, but yeah, this is my main channel that I use. Question for you, Hamish. What is your best time on YouTube? Says Brandon. Definitely not last week. Although up until we got the copyright strike, I was having fun on that Super Rugby stream. Nicely worked to the league side. It's interesting that you asked that because me and Isaac, we were actually reacting, or not reacting, but we were watching some old stuff that was on my hard drive that got corrupted that I had to send away to the Netherlands to get fixed. And we were watching some of the old stuff on there. And this was like 2016 stuff, 2017. And then we also found some old Kiwi Lads podcast stuff from 2020. Now, all those videos are on private on YouTube at the moment, but we used to talk about some pretty interesting topics back in the day. And I don't know how many of you guys would have been able to see those videos while they were up, not on private, but yeah, there's some throwback memories we were looking through just before. Pushing at that one a little bit Bairstow when it was outside of the off stump. One ball left to the Cummins over. I dislike both teams, but hope Australia wins, says Hensel. So is that the case of you dislike them both, but if you had to choose one, you like Australia just that little bit more, or is it more the players that they've got that you like that little bit better rather than the country? Cummins, that one's come back in a little bit too off the seam, but that'll be the end of the over. 287 for 5 now. It is a maiden from Pat Cummins. That is something we have not had too often throughout this whole Ashes series, let alone this match. I know we've had probably more no balls by about ×3 than we have maidens throughout this whole Ashes series. Been sitting up there on the balcony of the hotel room. I feel like that would be a strange view, wouldn't it? But then at the end of the day, you've got yourself an Ashes seat. You're just a little bit more aerial. The players will look a little bit more like ants. There's what's her face? Mary something. Mary Berry? No. What's her name? The one who does the British Bake Off, who likes soggy or doesn't like the soggy buns, is it? That what she says? Question, what's your favourite soft drink? Also, what's your favourite snack? Soft drink, if I had to pick one, it would probably be Fanta. I don't actually drink any like Coke or anything along those lines. I don't really like it, which I know some people are like, what? But I much prefer a Fanta than a Coke. Snack-wise, snacks are tricky because it depends on what you're in the mood for. I'm quite fond of a Kit Kat chunky every once in a while, but like, you know, a mango's good as well. Don't mind a mango. You'll start now. Oh, that's an ugly bouncer. Going right into the fingers of Harry Brook. 141 Ks. And Brook hasn't really been reading that length of Stark as of yet for today. And that seems to be the tactic. Try and give him a few more short balls. Ruffle his feathers that little bit more. I think he's just gone down and said to Bairstow, that one was a little bit quick. Yeah, it's just come straight up, hit him on the glove. On that left hand, isn't it? Yep. How about Chocodo's underrated, says Ramdes. That's the thing. A while ago, I discovered the Chocoto. And it was the same thing pretty much as you've just said there, how they're a little bit underrated. Like, I introduced my sister to Chocotos, and she had never had one just because, like, to be honest, compared to a Kit Kat, like, it doesn't look as good, if that makes sense, in terms of the packaging and whatnot. Like, the Kit Kat's that bright red, it stands out. Chocoto kind of blends in as something like a Mars bar, but yeah, it's an underrated snack, I would say. A nice wee Chocoto. But yeah, she said the same thing. She was like, I didn't really know about Chocotos until you told me about them, and now she don't mind them. So what I'm actually going to do, I know that she won't be watching this, or I can assume that she's not anyway. She's actually coming home in about 4 days or so. Harry Brook's fallen over. That's not good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to the grocery shop tomorrow, and I was going to get her a Chocoto and some Lindt chocolate for when she gets home. Trying to ruffle his feathers before he settles in, says Peter. And yeah, the best time to get the wicket, as we've already seen from that Ben Stokes dismissal, it's early on in the day. He's already up there having a chat to Brendan McCullum, He's got a smile on his face at the moment, Ben Stokes, but he will be hurting on the inside after not quite being able to time that one. Looking at the field, it's an interesting field set at the moment for the Australians. Got the man deep on the backward square leg, or sorry, deep backward point. Can you read my message? If it's the one about what's your best time on YouTube, I kind of already answered that one, Brandon. Possibly. Is that the one that we're talking, or have I missed one? They need to maybe make a chocolate packet look more intriguing or something, I guess, says Ramdes. Yeah, because it just kind of looks a bit bland, doesn't it, unfortunately? Like, the chocolate bar itself, it's a bit weird when you eat it. Like, I always find the first one or two little nibbles of a chocolate are strange, but then you get used to it and then it gets better. You know, just because it's quite a lot to take in. Oh, that's gone high. Is it a catching chance? No, it's going to fall safe. Just a one bounce towards Marnus Labuschagne at deep, backwards square leg. That's what they're trying to do. Trying to get Bairstow or Brook out to the short ball. That'll be the end of the over. 289 for 5. Yeah, Bairstow is going to go after it, which actually, I mean, the Australians may look to use to their advantage, similar to what we saw when Nathan Lyon was batting. They knew that he was going to take on that short ball, and then when he decided to, they were able to pretty quickly get that wicket. It's kind of like Boost Mars and Picnic all together. Yeah, they've kind of just thrown together. It's almost in a way they've gone, what can we get away with putting together into one bar without people thinking it's another bar? And then just smush it all together in the machine, and then you've got yourself like a fudgy chocolate ball filled, like kind of lumpy thing. It's the best way of describing a chocolate. I was going to say an interesting segue, but ladies and gentlemen, together on this live stream, joining me, it is going to be Tony. You guys may know him. Some of you might from some of the rugby stuff that we do, but he is going to be joining us for a little bit of the cricket. I assume he's got his TV muted at the moment before I add him in. Going to get a quick little thumbs up. No, he's reaching for the remote. Maybe he did it. Which one is your favorite TV show before you became YouTube? Oh, favorite TV show. What did I used to watch on TV? Probably, like, to be honest, like Scooby-Doo or Tom and Jerry, but this is probably a wee while back. But I always enjoyed those kind of shows. Like Scooby-Doo, I used to have a Scooby-Doo game that I would just play constantly, even though I knew who the murderer was. Well, they didn't even, what did they do in Scooby-Doo? They didn't murder people, did they? They were kind of just like doing little things. Hello, Tony. You're muted, mate. You have got your mic muted. You're going to have to quickly turn that on. There we go.
Hello, mate. How are you?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
Cricket. Watching some cricket this evening. What a wonderful game it is. What a game. What a game.
Your microphone
the Ashes.
sounds a little bit crackly for some reason, Tony.
Oh, really?
Like you're kind of pissing on the pissing on the mic. Some would say.
Sounds like I'm pissing on the mic. Okay, hold on. Maybe,
you know, like that pitter patter, that kind of thing.
Oh, there's a bit of a
may agree.
There's a little crackle, is there?
A little bit of crackling. I'll have to adjust the scoreboard one moment as well while we're at it. Put that up a little bit.
Are you having to adjust the hold on. Oh, that's not the right one.
Stealing stuff, says Hensel.
Oh.
You know, it's almost like if Aldi made a chocolate bar, like a rip-off, I guess, and no offense, Aldi.
I'm going to leave you for a second. I'll come back when I've sorted my technical issues. But it was great being here. I hope everyone really enjoyed my presence.
Thank you for being here, Tony. We will see you in a short moment. Yes, we'll go like this. But back to Scooby-Doo, ladies and gentlemen. Stealing stuff is what they seem to be dealing with, which, yeah, it was an old game on the PC. I don't even think my PC has a disk drive now. Do PCs still come with disk drives, like gaming PCs? I don't think they do, but like a CD drive. I used to have this game that was just brilliant, how it was pretty much based around a western town. You had to try and work out who the person was. Then there was a jester, and there were a couple other things.
How's
Welcome
that?
back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yes, it is. You're very loud, so I'm going to slightly turn you down.
It's okay. People have been wanting to do that for ages.
Go
Turn the
about
tea
here.
does let down.
How's it going,
I just-
Tony?
I'm going good, mate. I'm going good. All of a sudden, I'm very conscious of the fact I'm not wearing a hat. Yeah, you don't often see me without a hat, do you?
No, I think that's one of the first times you haven't had your little Irish swagger
Well,
hat on.
Well, that's a little tasty. Is that live, or am I just looking at a replay right now? I'm looking at a series of replays.
I think it's the replay of Harry Brook getting in on the fingers, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Don't you hate that when you react to a replay? You're like, oh, wicket. Oh, fuck. Yeah. Oh, there we go. First F-bomb straight off the...
Already.
It's only a matter of time. No, I'm good, Hamish. How are you?
I'm doing all right, mate. It's been...
I hear there's some Scooby-Doo chat going on.
Yeah. Did you ever used to watch Scooby-Doo?
I love Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo is... I had a Scooby-Doo reference in my most recent video, actually, as well.
And that will be the Irish one about whether or not they can win the World Cup.
Which I trust you've watched.
I have. I was very
well
behaved. I did. Yeah, I watched it this morning.
I was meant to. I only realized after I published it that I didn't reference you and your help with the idea. I was like, shit, I gave him $50 last night. That'll do. Yeah, I gave him a plug on the pod. But yeah, sorry about that. I'll do it on the next one. But yeah.
No, that's all good. I'm not ashamed to admit it that I recently have looked up to try and find full Scooby-Doo episodes on YouTube.
There's something wrong with that. So the general premise of Scooby-Doo was our rapscallion crew. What was it? What's the group called? What's this? The
Mystery Incorporated, wasn't it?
Yes. Can you name all of them?
Scooby-Doo, Shaggy, Velma, Daphne, Fred.
Yeah. That's it. That's
Yeah.
the team. That's the team. So they would somehow be cruising around in the van, getting high as fuck, going on like crazy group orgies and stuff like that. That was never unsaid. That was never said on the show. It was just implied. And they would turn up at a mysterious town, and they'd meet a couple of locals, and they'd be like, "This is cool," and they'd be like, "There's this crazy thing happening here, though," and no one would want to talk about it. And then someone would talk about it, and it would be like some spooky ghost or ghoul or something very supernatural was happening. That was definitely supernatural. There was no chance it was somebody in a mask.
No.
It was way.
Surely eventually they catch on, don't they? Like after you've done it 50 times, you're like, maybe.
Man, these people really like to masquerade. But they and then they would put a bunch of clues together, and they would be convinced it was supernatural the whole time. But it wasn't until the very end when they caught said villain, ripped the mask off said villain, and realized it was the first person they met at the beginning of the episode.
Can I just say the way that you're sitting is very like ominous of like a evil villain of some sort, like you're in your lair with your glass. You're like, I planned it out this whole time.
This is just oh, has he got him? Hey, Cummins looks very, very happy about it. No one else is interested.
Yeah, I think you're 3 seconds ahead of myself.
Oh shit.
I've just realized. So I think that's that one that they've just had. What's your DRS timer on?
4, 3, 2.
Okay, I'm 4, 3, 2. Okay, I've caught up a little bit. I cut down on a few seconds.
Next time we have a point where I can pause for a second, get me to pause. Should I pause for 2 seconds?
That would probably be that would be about it. That look close to the edge.
You do the count. You do the that. Oh, that is an edge.
Yeah,
that looks like an edge.
That's something. Is it? It's right up the top near the spot. What?
No, ultra edge isn't spiky. I could have sworn.
It looked like it deviated, didn't it? But what's that? Really what's that noise? Well, it's way off the back, and it's made a little noise.
I don't know what it is. I fucking love the Ashes. I really do. I really do. It's such great. But I like to watch the Ashes when it's competitive. This gives me a lot of 2005 feels, which you would have been well before your time.
Yes? Oh, I was alive at that stage, which is a good start.
Yes, you had been fully fertilized and come out of your mum's vagina by that stage. So that's.
I'd hope so. I was about 6. So.
It's good. It's good. I'm sorry I said vagina on your show.
I think you've said a lot worse, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. Is that one of those words that you can't say on YouTube, you reckon?
I think a little bit. There's a few words that
Okay.
they're starting to, that list is getting longer and longer of words you can't say.
Yeah.
It would
Oh,
seem to
by the
be.
way, don't ignore the chat on my behalf. Like, talk to the chat and you tell me what the chat's saying, and they'll get irritated if you don't talk to the chat.
No, I was just looking at it. Knowing all the Scooby-Doo characters is a sign of a misspent youth, says Peter. Although there's only 5 of them.
It's the sign of an incel. I'm sorry.
Takes less than an afternoon to learn them, doesn't it? 5. You know?
Well, you've learned all the maps of the world for one.
Yeah, all the flags. Yeah, I got them all up
flags.
the sleeve.
What? Why do I? Oh, I think this is the second time I've confused flags with maps with you, isn't it?
Although, to be fair, it makes it sound better if you're like, hey, he knows where all the countries of the world are, rather than what their flags are, what their pictures look like.
It's a real panty dropper, that piece of knowledge.
Can confirm. It's a medical term, says Defunk. And there, hello, sir. England need partnership and Australia needs wicket, says Naveen. Yep. So if Australia can get another quick-fire wicket here of either Brook or Bairstow, they definitely want Brook at this stage, but Bairstow is one of those guys who would just dig in the heels if he has to and continue to bat for a long period of time. It's whether or not those guys at the other end from him, such as Stuart Broad. Yeah, we're still about 2 seconds, aren't we? I just realised.
Okay, I'm going to say, how many seconds do I need to pause for, you reckon?
I'd say about 2 or 3. Ready? Pause now. And click play.
I'm sorry, my remote didn't work. Okay, pause. 1, 2, 3, play. Are you getting in the middle of a replay?
Yep. So Stark just released the ball there.
Now
you're probably behind, ain't you?
I'm about a second behind you now.
Do you want me to tell you what? I can pause for a second. There we go.
Okay, go. Yeah. He's running in, and release. I think we're about as close.
That could also just be YouTube or StreamYard's delay as well, couldn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of things counting against us. Yeah, and we're watching the Ashes, aren't we?
Where are you? You've got some work to do now, says Brandon. Right. Well, he didn't even have now at the end. I just added it because I knew that's how the song went.
Yes. So you were watching Scooby-Doo cartoons because Scooby-Doo was fucking old when I was a kid when it was coming out.
Well, I couldn't think of anything I've watched in the past 10 years TV show wise. Oh, other than the Big Bang Theory I watched at one stage, but we all know how you feel about that one.
Oh no!
That's the wicket. Stark's got him. And that's Brook gone. I just said I have the worst commentator's curse there ever could be for an Australian cricket team, Tony. I did it 3 times yesterday. I said about how someone was batting well. They went out within 2 balls. Hazelwood, the final wicket, I was like, now that I've said that he's a decent batsman, he'll go out within 3 balls. It was the second ball. So, sorry, that's my bad.
it's all about you, pal. That's a sign of a narcissist. But
the timing, though.
But I hear you what you're saying. But that is throwing your wicket away. Really, it is a poor shot. This is the problem with Baz ball. If you're not on top, you can throw your wickets away. The game, coming in today, I was thinking, mate, we kind of evenly balanced it. What was it, 284 for 4 or something? But yeah, 293 for 6. How far behind the game are they now? They can squeak out another 100 runs from now.
They would still be trailing by 23 if that was the case, but it would be round about that ballpark, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they need another 100 runs, don't they? But but now losing Brook was bad. He's the established batsman. Oh, now they got Broad, who's not going, and he doesn't stick around for a long time.
I think Australia are doing a lot of what we saw England do in that first test, which is that short ball bowling, even to the top order. England would only do it to the tail. Australia's just decided why not use that tactic against them.
Old Wagner. Wagner.
Yeah, he does it.
He got himself in trouble. He's been getting himself in trouble in Russia recently, old Wagner.
Has he? What's he been doing in Russia?
So
I missed the joke, Tony.
Can someone in the comments explain to him what I meant? I was sort of talking about the cricketer Neil Wagner, also with the military group based in Russia called the Wagner Forces.
I see.
Anyone, and there was almost like pretty much like a civil war, but it kind of fizzled out in 2 days. But it was very dramatic. They took Tolstoy, and it was quite intense stuff.
See, I
But,
just watched Scooby Doo. That's about as intense as I need in my life.
We'll be on the brink of World War III, and you'll get conscripted into service, and you'll be like, shit, I can't do that. The Sevens is on this week. You'll have no idea why the world's going to war.
Yeah, can't be missing those Sevens, mate. They're all out action for the weekend, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
I like how Ram D's a while ago put Scooby-Doo has a vagina, and then now 5 minutes later has put no offense, just because he realized I hadn't read out the first one. He thought, no, it's okay. Well,
it's okay.
It was more of I didn't know how to answer it because I was going to say...
What's the person's name?
I'm not going to say the whole name, but their first name is Ram D's.
Ram D's nuts?
No, last name Balls in Tall Face.
Ram D's balls in your face also has a vagina. Fun fact.
That's a good way of turning the audience against. Do you like a chocolate though, Tony?
Oh, I've never really had a chocolate.
Yeah.
And sorry, that was a question I had for you, Hamish. Was you mentioned as you came on, you were like, you were talking about chocolates. They were like small pieces of chocolate that kind of get into wads or some shit. So you were on some weird tangent, and you're like, that could be a good segue for the next. Oh, no, I won't say that. What were you thinking? How am I like a wad of dried old chocolate?
Well, I was going to be like really harsh in a comedic way because I was saying about how it's.
I can take it.
I was going to say how it's like a lumpy thing. And then I was
gonna... Are you fat shaming me?
No,
you scrawny piece of South Island crap.
That's why I didn't feel like the segue was quite there because normally I segue you in with whatever topic we're talking about.
Yeah,
and that one so just didn't like, quite.
Basically, a choquito. You're like, is a choquito? It's not great. It's a bit weird. It's kind of lumpy nuts. And speaking of lumpy pieces of crap, next up we got Distracted Sports. Tony, everybody. Is that basically the jam?
I think it's also it's a deeper layer than that. It's kind of like you don't know what's inside of a chocolate when you see it on the outside, but then there's some magic there. There's some fudge in there. There's some little mini balls. I don't know if that's.
I've never had a chocolate.
See, that's probably somewhere.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? Trousers
what are you wearing
right now?
What are you wearing right now? I got some track pants on, Tony.
I've got track pants on too.
Do you? Or what color are yours?
Like navy blue.
Okay, I'm more of a like camo or kind of like a navy green. No, not a navy green. What's it called? A
camo
forest green kind of camo green type thing. Oh, that's an ugly ball. He didn't like that, and he's just looked up at the sky.
There is a lot of. They want to play a bit of chin music here, don't they?
And I think that's a little bit of payback for the way that England have bowled to Australia sometimes. Like Nathan Lyon, you're guaranteed he's going to get a short ball. It would seem.
We really need a. We need a good. I'm definitely 100% supporting England here. By the way, I really hate. I hate the Australian cricket team. I really do. They are bastards.
I've always hated them. They keep beating us, or just in general.
Oh, yes. Take that. Well, take those runs. Thank you. Fucking old Warnie dum dum. Anyway, I hate them. I really do. Just there's no ethics, no morals, just cheap shots, verbal bar. Like they represent everything bad about cricket. Every dickhead you've ever met on a cricket field is manifested by the Australian cricket team, and they have been for years. I prefer the Wallabies. I don't mind the netball team, other Australian teams. It's just for some reason the cricket team it's always just full of twats like Warne, McGrath, Ponting, like just twat. You know what I mean? There many Australians watching this going, getting angry?
Probably a few. They're halfway through the comment at the moment. No track pants on the Gold Coast, says Relaxing Kiwi. Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like in Aussie, it's quite hard to wear track pants a majority of the year just because if you're in one of those hotter regions, like track pants, they're all right in
It
the
gets-
winter, but they get stuffy, don't they?
Yeah, they're a bit. Yeah, they're great right now. This is peak track pants period right now. Terrible evening this evening in Auckland. If you saw any of the Warriors game, boy, oh boy, it was wet. It was
I
wet.
was going to be covering that game. I'm kind of glad I didn't, though.
Yeah, it was blooming shocking. Do you like the way I controlled my swearing there?
I noticed that it took a lot of like force to stop it halfway through, but you managed to do quite well. You know?
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Ram D's wants you to go to the shop tomorrow and get a chocolate.
So I can compare it to myself and go, I am a.
And when you bite into it, you'll be like, "Oh, I see what Hamish meant."
What is it? Is it? I thought it's a chocolate, and it comes in like a black, and it's got like yellow stripes on it. Is that a chocolate?
A little bit, yeah. Well, yellow
I think I've
writing. It
seen
looks
them.
really bland, which is why you probably haven't picked one up before. Like compared to a Kit Kat, if you look at the two of them, it's like, oh, Kit Kat chunky every day of the week. But
All right.
Chocolate underrated. They're a bit weird for the first couple bites, but as soon as you get through those first bites, then it's like, oh, okay, I'm in with a treat here.
I can't really. I'm too old to buy chocolate bars these days, sadly.
That's sad, isn't it? There shouldn't be an age for how old you can be to go buy a chocolate bar.
No, when I was your age, I was in my early 20s. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll get a pie, a chocolate bar, and a V, and that would be that would be a meal. And right now, if I did that, I would just like something diuretic would happen or something. I'd feel like shit for the rest of the day. You get far more impacted by what you put into your body as you get older.
There's like KFC for like most people, isn't it? How it seems like a good idea.
That's why I drink 3 liters of wine every night. But yeah.
And that helps.
Supposing no, I don't drink 3 liters of wine every night. Yeah, no, I don't drink wine. Most of the time, I'm trying not to drink wine from Monday to Thursday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So the easiest way to do that is to just sleep during those days, and then you can start drinking on the weekend again.
I have to
it's
work
like a hibernation. Oh,
I have to.
That?
I'd love to be able to do that, but no. Oh, and I have to. No, I'm quite busy. I have to work, and I have to parent, and I have to do all those sorts of things. That's why I felt very bad. I felt bad for old I don't know if we can talk about it, but like I don't know what we're gonna. Yeah, it would be cool to do Tim's video, but two problems with that was I don't think I have the time, and also I wouldn't be able to hold that conversation properly. I think you and I tried to do like a proper rugby video a couple of times, and I was like, nah, I can barely hold down the whole podcast that me and Mark do is me just giving wild opinions and going off track, whilst he keeps me on track and actually gives people proper information. That's how it kind of works. Yeah.
Well, I feel like you need
the first official guest.
Yeah, it was a bit starstruck, wasn't I? Eh?
No, you did great. You did great. You're you like the way I enlarged you on the screen.
I saw that. I was just zoomed in because I thought when I first saw it in like the little bar down the bottom, I was like, hang on, did he screen record that? How do you do that? That's a bit fancy. I normally, if you screen record, sometimes you lose sound on your phone, don't you? So I was like, how's he going to have the audio? Is it going to be through the mic? And then when I got to that part after the Super Rugby summary, I was like, oh, he's zoomed right in on the fingers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, real clever stuff. Great stuff.
That's an ugly ball to broad.
Yeah. Do you know how long but you saw that I had a Scooby-Doo. We just go back to Scooby-Doo. You saw wide there. You saw I had a Scooby-Doo shot in my Irish video.
You had a lot of movie reference or TV references as well. I mean, you started the thing with a little hobbit in there, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is it Gollum? I
haven't
seen either of them. So.
I started with Rafiki from The Lion King. Have you not seen any of the Lord of the Rings? You sack of shit. Oh, fuck you. Oh, God, you're the worst. Watch it. You should film yourself watching some movies that everybody's seen.
I should.
That could be.
What about
Yeah,
Tom and
and then
Jerry?
there's
I could do a watch along for that, couldn't I?
nobody's watched Tom and Jerry.
What?
Like,
Everyone's
no,
watched
like
Tom and Jerry.
the cartoon.
Yeah. Isn't there a
Nobody wants
movie
to
that they
watch.
made?
Nobody's no, it's not. It's not. It's not of culture. It's not of. Everybody knows the terms Tom and Jerry. Everybody's caught like a cartoon here and there of Tom and Jerry, but it's not that deeply in the zeitgeist of the culture. So, like, have you seen Forrest Gump? Oh,
I have,
that's
yes.
good looking.
You always ask, have I seen Forrest Gump? And that is luckily the one that I'm like, yeah, of course. Who hasn't?
Yeah.
Go Penrith,
Yeah.
says Shane there. And also,
All right,
Shortland
Shane.
show sucks.
Okay,
Shortland
cool.
show? Oh, for Shortland Street.
Yeah, I think it's this. Oh, another.
It's
It's a no
interesting.
ball. Getting
There's
a
a lot of
sneaky
those
few.
in this one. I see that Shane has said about Shortland Street, and then people drink at home because town sucks. And then he said talk sport, even though he just finished talking about Shortland Street. So I don't know whether that was to himself in the third person, like, hey, Shane, stop it, talk sport to himself, or whether he was talking to us.
Yeah, it's got a random shout saying Shortland Street sucks. Is he trying to burn us for Shortland Street?
Not sure. I think he said sucks as a show like the Warriors tonight it was. Where in Auckland are you, Tony? Says relaxing Kiwi.
I am in an area of Auckland that has houses.
Okay.
Yes.
Very specific.
Yes.
What's up, Hamish?
Yeah.
Is that annoying you, your headphones, without a hat on?
A little bit, but it's also like I like to keep one ear free. You know? Yeah. You like me too. So I'm just trying to find the perfect way to have one ear free. And it's like slipping back over my head. You know what I mean? Do you
my problem is my headphones, no matter what type I have. I once got a hate comment saying F off skinny head. And ever since then I realized that my head, like
Sorry about that, Hamish.
It's okay. I know you didn't mean it. But
no,
anytime
I did mean it.
anytime I have headphones, I have to do them right up now. Because or else they won't fit my head because it is actually kind of skinny. You know?
You got a thin old head.
I do, which is weird because I used to have a slightly thicker head. You know, and then I think when they took my brain out, it just kind of shrunk a little bit.
Are you losing head density?
Maybe. In both regards.
Maybe a thick head when your body wasn't so big, but your body's kind of grown into your head, so it feels thinner. Because your head definitely hasn't shrunk.
I don't know. Have you seen old pictures of me? I used to have a wham old face.
Yeah, but how and what was your body like then?
There was a little bit of pudge there. Me and Isaac, we were actually in a call before this stream, and we were looking through our old hard drive stuff because the hard drive that blew up, I had to send to the Netherlands for them to try and reprogram.
I've been to the Netherlands. Great place.
I bet you went to the red light district, did you?
I did.
Just could tell, can I?
I didn't get any action or anything like that. I would have been younger than you. I would have been 18, and went to the red light district. And there's a skinny street. So Skinny Street, it's about the size of your fucking head. Very, very thin. So it's very, very thin, and it's got these quite beautiful women in glass. So yeah, basically there's all like shop front windows basically, but there are women in them, and you're like, whoa, this is fucking intense. But yeah,
they're kind of like mannequins, except they're real.
Yeah, and if you give them money, they'll have sex with you. So yeah, it's a little bit difference as well. But yeah, no, I was
the mannequins.
Yeah, I did not partake any of it, but it was we just walked around for the tourist sort of side of it. It was like going to it. Yeah, it was quite incredible. You know.
I thought for a second Matty Renshaw was putting his hand up to bowl. Of course, he's not allowed to. We haven't seen much of Lion today yet, which I think might be a change.
What's the pitch doing?
There was a really rough but a variable bounce on the very first ball that Stark bowled. It stayed extremely low, and then those other ones seem to be coming on quite nicely when it hits the seam. Like the Harry Brook deliveries seem to be popping right up around the chin. Same with Broad. But I think it looks like it could be a spinner's surface near the end of the test match, which is why England need to cut down this 116 that they trail by as much as they can, because you don't want to allow the Australians that 400 lead in a final innings when they've got Nathan Lyon.
Yeah. They don't have a spinner, do they? The Poms.
No, only Root, who was able to pick himself up a couple wickets though. Like he seems to become more and more of. That's an interesting shot from Broad.
He found some space. Yeah, come on, guys.
Short of Mitch Stark. It's weird, isn't it? The field sets that we're seeing in these Ashes. I swear there's been more men behind the bat than there's been in front throughout this whole Test series, mainly for that short ball every once in a while. Hazelwood, I feel like he's less likely to bowl the wide, isn't he? It's going to be right up around the block hole.
Well, even he's liking the chin music at the moment, isn't he?
And the problem is with his accuracy, he can give you 6 in a row right where it needs to be. A little bit more pitched up there to Bairstow. Or defensive tries to work it.
That's a nice spot. You're giving yourself a chance there for something to happen off the pitch, you know? Is there much movement off? Well, how old's the ball here?
They are 70 overs old at the moment, so they've got another 10 over. So I think we'll see Nathan Lyon bowl at some stage before that new ball. Whether it's maybe, I think he'll be not too far off, to be honest. I think with Stark continuing from the other end, I don't know if they'll give him another one unless they want one more to Broad, maybe. But you'd think that you'd save Stark for that new ball.
I've got the feeling there's a wicket brewing here.
You think it's going to be Bairstow, or do you think it will be Broad?
I think Broad is highly likely, but I think actually Bairstow's he's brewing a rash shot. He's 11 off 30, which is glacial for Bazball. So I think he could, Did
that look like rain in the background to you? Like with how dark it looked. Oh, shot.
Oh,
nicely glided down to third man. 4 runs.
Oh, okay.
Lyon is off injured, out for the game, says Greg B.
Oh, really?
He must have gone off in the time that I wasn't watching last night.
Do you ever snack while you're streaming?
I've tried. It doesn't work.
Where you can't eat food?
Well, like if you try and snack while doing a stream, like I've once, for the Ashes in 2021, I cooked a plate of hot chips during the break, but they took longer than the break. So then I was trying to eat chips while doing the live stream for that last kind of session of the day, and it just doesn't work.
If somebody had a gun to your head and they said, you need to tell me exactly how many chips you eat in a week, hot chips.
Are we talking like the exact number of singular fries, or are we talking in terms of how many platefuls?
No, how many single fries?
Single fries, I would say, like per serving, you're probably looking at about 364. So
you reckon that's a lot of chips in it? So it's just
I eat a lot of chips.
2.
I eat shoestring fries though, you see. So that's where the numbers go up a little bit. You're scoffing them, you're stabbing the top of your mouth with them while you're trying to chew them.
They're so bad for you, those. They're so bad for you.
Yeah, they're not great.
They're terrible. They're terrible for you. They're the worst possible chips you can eat for you. Oh, fuck, was that head copped on there?
No, in the chest. He felt it though. Matty Renshaw.
That would have hurt. What a pussy.
Didn't even get a hand. I would have thought he did all right because he didn't turn away from it. Shot.
Oh, look at that.
It's an elegant back foot punch.
I told you that. Okay, here we go.
I heard about a massive injury but didn't see it. So that's not ideal.
That's significant.
I guess we're not going to see him bowling.
That is significant for the course of the game.
And also for the series, because if it's a major injury, the good news is they've got a youngster like a Todd Murphy or someone like that who could come in instead, but you definitely don't want to be losing Nathan Lyon. Not when he's so close to his milestone of wickets as well. Oh, just going wide.
Snuck it through. Single there.
Uzi. Man who was
That was
scoring
it, man.
at the rate of Pajara in his first innings.
He's getting runs for fun at the moment, isn't he, Kwaja? Although he got that first wicket he was out to, that was a lovely ball. That bowl. Yeah, and the one that took, what's the guy's name? He's on debut. Tongue.
Pretty much, it looks like tongue, but they say Tong, so I just believe them.
All right, fair enough. Tong. Yeah, there were a couple of nice little tasty cherries, weren't they?
Yeah, that one that came back into Warner and cleaned up. It was actually his leg stump, so that's how far the ball went down the leg side.
Fucking amazing.
How many wickets is Lyon nearing, says Randy's? Not at this stage by the sounds of it, because he's injured, sadly. But that's kind of made me sad. I wonder whether or not they go. Well, it seems like now Cam Green's taken over, so I don't think we'll see either Labuschagne or Steve Smith have a bowl with the spin. I'd like to see a little bit of spin, though, just to see what it would do, you know? Warner's tapping his elbows. What does that mean?
It means get the sandpaper out. We need to cheat.
That one slowly went over the head, didn't it? Johnny Bairstow. See, Cam Green can get them in the right spot. Just looked it up. Lyon has a calf strain and is on crutches. That is very much in England's favour. Says Peter. Yeah, because that's calf another strain. Man. Calf they can't have runners anymore, can they?
No, you can't. Jesse Ryder, he got rid of them. You know Jesse Ryder?
I do, yes. He did a few interesting things throughout his time, didn't he?
Yeah, he was an absolute fucking idiot, that guy. Just a complete moron. I saw him in town one night just acting like one of the biggest twats I've ever seen. I was like, but just if you ever saw him in his pomp, like when he was playing well, he scored Test centuries against India. Like I think he got a double ton against India at one stage. Like he was just about as talented as a cricketer gets, but was just a complete and utter moron off the pitch. So sad. So sad.
I guess rugby-wise, probably, is it the equivalent of Zach Guilford a little bit?
Yeah, well, at least Zach Guilford was in shape. That guy was just a fat bastard as well. Like, he didn't take care of himself in any way, where I think Zach Guilford had at least some aspect of, like, dedication and work ethic. I think problem with Zach Guilford was addiction issues, which is he's had a very tragic life, that guy. He when the under-20s won the World Cup, his father, I don't know, I think his father was having a heart attack in the stands and passed away. Like, and then from that point on, he obviously had further success in the rugby field, but about as many things that could go wrong off the field did go wrong for him. Very sad. Yeah. Well, obviously he had very, very, very bad addiction issues and had a terrible night in Fiji where he just like.
Is that where the vending machine story came from?
Yeah, it caused all sorts of carnage. Was it a wedding or just an absolute shocker? Just had an absolute shocker of an evening. Yeah. But yeah. It's just sad. The sad story of Zach Guilford. Yeah. And yeah, they're from the same area. They're both from the Hawke's Bay, actually, as well. And also Doug Bracewell. I saw Doug Bracewell out with them as well. He was acting like a fucking idiot too. Actually, a lot of times I've seen professional athletes out in town. I've often walked away going, you kind of suck. You know, like it's sad. But like, yeah, Stevie Devine. I'm just talking shit on the internet about people, so maybe I should stop. Yeah, you know, like, yeah. I don't know. I think you've got to have a certain amount of arrogance and belief in yourself. But sometimes I've met some professional athletes who've been really cool, really good people. But I have also, just when they're out in the person, that's when they can be at their most dickheadish, really. Not a lot of top level athletes out in the town and Waimate.
No, we hardly have an out in the town. Like everything closes at like 8. Like But
What
I
do you
think the
mean?
latest, like, we only have one pub that's open till like 9 and then it's closed. So like, there's no nightlife here. You know?
Well, so you can't. So it's closed at 9.
Pretty much, yeah. Or sometimes 10 if you're lucky. That look close to the outside edge.
Yeah.
Johnny Bairstow.
So is it they close at 9 because nobody's around and nobody wants to go to the pub?
Pretty much, yeah. We just like the supermarket shuts at 8, and then once the supermarket's shut, there's just nothing to do.
The supermarket isn't anything to do either. The supermarket's just where you get food.
Good. Yeah, you go
What do
down
you
there. Me,
mean?
George, and Daniel, we went there the other day and went and got a cheesecake, and it was fantastic. It's called a big outing in this town.
You got to get out of this.
Oh, he's out.
Oh,
Bairstow's gone, and Hazelwood
jeez.
picks up the wicket. Cummins
Just-
is reacting as if he didn't see that, or he didn't expect it anyway. That's not a good wicket for England.
That is a bad one. That is a bad one. The tail very much needs to wag here now, don't they?
Yeah, and now they're into that stage of they've got Robinson, they've got Tong, and they've got Anderson. The last three.
That's a really, really soft wicket.
It's another soft one. We've seen Brook and Bairstow both get out to silly shots pretty much here. Whereabouts do you live in Kiwiland, Hamish? So I'm in the South Island in a very small town in between. The easiest, anytime I go too specific, no one knows where it is, but pretty much in between Timaru and Oamaru.
It's between fuck knows and nowhere.
Much, yeah. I mean, the pub that you go to that's like 10 or so minutes away stays open until maybe like 11.
I wonder if I've probably been to your town. I just didn't know it. I've gone through many, many towns without knowing that they were there. Is it a sort of town I could drive through without knowing that it was really there?
Not really, because it's off the main highway, so you'd have to go inland if you were going to stop at like a cafe or something.
What's the nearest high school?
The local one, Waimate High School.
Yeah, I've never been there.
There's only one. So like pretty much you go down State Highway 1, you go from Timaru, and then you can pass where, have you heard of Nosh? Not that kind, but like Nosh, or the cup and saucer as they used to call it.
No.
Okay, that's pretty much on the corner, and then if you go that way, it's like 7 k's inland, or if you go straight across or straight down the road, you head to Oamaru.
Yeah, I know where Oamaru and Timaru are.
Yeah, so we're like halfway in between. Good afternoon from Cape Town, says Carl.
Hello. Are you going to get out of the town? What are you going to do, mate? What's the plan?
The thing is, I went to Christchurch with the lads, and the amount of stuff we saw up there in just one night, I'm like, I don't mind a small town, you know?
Well, you went out. Yeah, but there's more to a town and a busy area than one messed up drunken evening. You know?
No, it wasn't even during the evening. It was like during the day. We had like 5 different things we saw that we were like, no, not good.
What did you see?
I mean, I could summarize a couple of them. One of them, we saw a guy who pretty much tried to deck it out of Valentine's with like $5,000 worth of clothing and just like charged over the top of an old lady.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen anything like that.
Have you? You mean the Valentine's?
No, I spent a bit of time in Christchurch. I spent a lot of time there before the pre-quake. It was quite a cool place, actually.
Hamish seen a girl with blue hair. I mean, there's probably quite a few of them around as well, but not
okay.
Really
what else? You saw some shop thief. What do you call it? Shoplifting. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was interesting though, because he was trying to like pretty much break into the changing room where George was getting changed, and I was holding the door shut because pretty much he was like, oh, can I try something on? I don't know whether he was on something or not, and I was like, no, he's in there. Just wait.
All right.
And then he came back round, and then George was finished, and then he just ran out the store. Although I think he got tackled at the door. So that was the first one, and that was only like within maybe 30 minutes of being in Christchurch or something like that. Or maybe a little bit longer. That was after go-karting. That was once we actually got out into the central area. Saw another guy straight away get kicked out of a building, then spit on the windows and whatnot. So I don't know what he did, but he wasn't happy. It was just like a little cafe. It was like
I think you might have just had a bit of a bad day. Try not.
We saw a
give it
house
a bit more
burn down.
You saw a house burn down.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I live in an area much bigger than Christchurch. I don't see houses burn down. Today I haven't seen any shoplifting, any houses burning down, and no one getting spat on.
Wow.
I live in Auckland. Yeah, in the last in 3 years I've lived in this little area. I live in Te Atatu Peninsula. You can look it up on a map. Very exciting.
I couldn't spell it.
Te Atatu. How do you think you can? How do you think you spell that? It's Te Atatu. What do you reckon?
Sounds like there's quite a few vowels in it.
Give it a crack.
It's pretty much just vowels and T's, isn't it? T E.
Yes.
T A. Wait, sorry. T E A T A ta T A ta T A two T T.
No, you got. I think you did two. How many TAs did you do? This is one TA.
I got two lots of it. But...
Ata two. Atatu. ATATU.
It's actually quite easy to spell, to be fair. Travis, head him to the attack, Tony.
Oh,
down the leg side straight away.
Can Robinson bat?
He's all right, but that's probably going to jinx him. Because anytime I say someone's like all right, they lose their wicket pretty quickly.
Can you say that there's no chance that Broad's going to get any significant runs here? So he gets a double ton.
I mean, I could. I think he'll go out before he gets to 15. That
he'll
works,
get out in the
it?
next. He'll get out in the next 6 runs.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's probably. There's a big difference between 6 out and 8 out, isn't there? 8 out, you're right in the tail. 6 out, you might have a batter with you.
Yeah. And currently, I think England's problem is they are starting to get towards the fact that they haven't really got a batsman out there at the moment. You know, like if they still had Bairstow in there and Broad was the one out, it would be like, okay, they've still got a little bit of stock there. But I mean, Broad, we've seen him do it before. He actually got himself a century up against the Irish.
I was more invested in the first test than this test.
Robinson with the footwork.
And yes, he's safe, but he might pick up a couple there.
2 runs, that'll do. Nicely done.
Do you prefer cum ball or Baz ball?
I was confused for a start, but I'd say, I mean, I like what Bazball's done in terms of people are finding a new love for Test match cricket, if that makes sense, in terms of the ones who can't quite handle the shot. Oh, well fielded by Cummins, though.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, the ones who can't quite handle the 3 and over being scored, like that slightly more aggressive style, progressing the Test match as well, because people have been like, oh, it's ruining Test match cricket. But I always say...
Okay. In the session break, can you do me a favour?
Well, that will depend, Tony. Is this one of the favours that we do off camera?
It's not going to get...
Well fielded by Labuschagne.
Labuschagne.
Yeah.
That's a proper way to pronounce it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's normally the South African way they do say. You need Māori practice, says Deegan Ninja. Homa e rima katahi tonu kata kata. And switch over to the storm. I said high five, just kidding. Took it back from him.
Do you know how to say? Can you do a mihi?
No, but I can say see you next week.
So you can say your name, yeah?
I think so.
No, but like in Māori. Like, can you introduce yourself?
I don't know if Hamish is a Māori name. Or the sentence with it.
Yeah. Like, so I don't want to do it for you, and like, if you can do it, can you do it or no?
Probably not. I remember some of the words.
So yours would be ko Hamish toku ingoa. Oh, that's nicely flicked.
Oh, that's a lovely flicking shot there from Robinson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can say kaki te koe te rawiki.
What does that mean?
See you next week.
Kakite. So yeah, kakite is see you. Yeah, later. Bye.
Yeah.
All right.
That was what I learned from Māori. I was actually the one who learned the most out of Māori when we learned it for a term at high school. Everyone else played with techniques.
Jeez, man, the South Island, dude. What a place. What a place.
Fired because she hit a student.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did he have a coming?
No, I don't know. It wasn't in our year, but
I bet he did. I bet he did.
Probably nailed a sick tech shot.
Yeah, they covered. Who do you think there's a hierarchy? You know, they've got those balconies on Lords where they can only really fit 6 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
But really, there's actually 11 fucking There's a bit more, much bigger squad plus physios and plus all those people. Where do they sit? Where do they sit so they can actually? Do they just watch on TVs on the inside?
I'd like to think that they'd be like, sometimes when they show it, there's a few other people kind of veering their eyes towards the gap in the balcony. But I'd like to think they'd have like a TV or a window or something just off to the side that you can look through.
Well, the window has to be directed towards the screen. But they're not the screen, the pitch, but there doesn't seem to be.
Oh, that was close.
Oh.
Didn't quite get it. It's exciting stuff. Saw my hero, David Warner, on the big screen. He's smiling. Says Roof. Yeah, Roof has got a thing for David Warner.
He's one of my most hated sports people ever. You like cheating, conniving, little short man, sons of... I don't know. He doesn't have any ethics. Like, he'll cheat to win in the most egregious ways, and he's a bit of a wank rag in terms of the way he conducts himself.
Oh, he's got hold of that, has he?
Oh, yes.
Yep. Fallen safe again. These are all freebie runs at the moment for England. These are runs that Australia don't really want to be conceding.
Well, if they can trail by less than 50, I think I think you'd take that right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see Australia batting this session, though, with 45 minutes remaining?
No, I don't think
so. Okay.
What do you think we will?
Well, I didn't think we were going to yesterday, and then they got the wicket of Steve Smith, and then they managed to get 4 overs in at the English right at the end. So I'm not completely sold that they won't get the chance to. Oh, Broad's running away. What's happened here? Green screen, or not green screen, the sight screen. Couldn't reach the line.
What did you think was happening?
I wasn't sure. I see that you've got like a yellow cushion, though. Is that correct?
Yes. Would you like to see my array of... You're sitting on a yellow cushion as well.
Let's hit him in the head.
It's got him in the noggin. No apologies.
No, he doesn't look too flash at the moment, Stuart Broad. He looks stoic. David Warner trying to have a look. Oh, wow. It's very yellow.
She's a yellow one. When I started the stream, I was all up in here, wasn't I? When we started,
full of energy.
I've somehow got all the way. These are. Would you use one of these?
I had one of those, but then our one got to the stage how it kept on falling down, so I had to hold on to it.
So
it didn't have many springs.
What kind of mic are you using right now?
I got a blue Yeti at the moment.
Oh, you got a blue Yeti you're using. Yeah. We used to use it. We used to use a Yeti.
These ones.
Oh, that's... They're good because they're proximal, aren't they? Like they pick up the room noise, so you can sit quite... I use my Yeti X for my distracted sports videos, like the ones where with the green screen. I don't use these because I don't want them in shot.
That's hit him there, hasn't it? That's like on the neck.
Oh, I didn't even see. I was just busy talking. I was about to rewind it. Oh, he's not a happy boy, is he?
Nah, that was right on the part how he's turned his head away and got it there.
Ouch.
Luckily for him, it was Cam Green bowling, so that takes maybe 5 or 10 Ks off it, but it's still not going to feel nice, is it?
No,
It's
man,
too broad.
Cricket balls hurt like a bitch, man.
I've had
They're not
one, not
soft.
quite like that, but I had one that I ended up pretty much playing with my face, and it ended up hitting me there, and I fell back onto my stumps and pretty much like knocked the bails off with my bat. That was
That
in like
sounds
an
humiliating.
that was a year 8
Yeah,
tournament
cricket
up
can
in
be painful
Christchurch.
and humiliating at the same time.
Here it is. See, that's
Oh,
a sore one. I think he just kind of took a moment to process it, didn't he? Trying to work out what
yeah.
the real. See, there's almost. I want to say it's kind of turned a bit bruised already there, unless that's just the way his beard is. But
Yeah.
that looks purple, doesn't it?
No, yeah, it does. That's going to be a massive old bruise under the. Oh
My
God, that would
question
hurt.
is, how did he pass the concussion test? Like, you
Well,
want to make sure that you're keeping an eye on him though over the next day or so, don't you? Just to make sure it's not a delayed concussion like what Steve Smith ended up with from Jofra Archer.
Yeah, it's the only sport that I can think of that I like. What was the name of the bloke who died a few years ago playing cricket?
Oh, that's the wicket of
Oh,
Robinson. But yeah, it
jeez.
was Phil Hughes, wasn't it?
Yeah. Jesus.
Wait,
Fucking Christ.
Phil Hughes or George Hughes? It was Phil, wasn't it? I know there were
Yeah,
two
yeah.
brothers. I think it was Phil.
And
That's
that's
going to be
why
the edge.
was it the edge?
Yeah, because or else he would have stumped them, but
Well,
they were happy.
yeah. Far out.
It'll be Robinson gone. 9 runs off 10 deliveries.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about not getting a bowler session.
That's why, I went with what I did, because I saw how quickly Australia ended up just going, and they were all gone within a little while. Yeah, see, they're still talking to Broad about it. The thing that looked, you can see a ball mark, can't you?
Yeah.
On the chin, like that's going to swell up. That's going to get you, I don't know whether that'll get you a trip to the dentist, because it's almost, almost in the molars.
All right, yeah. And this is Tong. Tong's coming in.
Here he comes.
Can he hold a bat? What's his first class record look like?
It's not terrible with the ball. The bat wise, I think he averages maybe about, I want to say maybe 16. Did I see?
We'll take.
Could be wrong.
I'll take 16 runs from him right now. That'll be fine.
We're about to see 16. It, I believe. I thought that it was, because I think he bats a little tiny bit higher up the order for his first class side. You know how normally you have those guys who are like, 13, sorry, not quite 16. That's actually quite a big difference, isn't it, in cricket?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's the 45 now.
We'll take 45 right now.
Oh, I thought he was bowled for his ball. I thought that one was sneaking around the outside.
He looked solid in his technique, but I didn't feel confident. Is that weird?
No, when you see that one, Cummins thought about it. Decided against throwing it though.
Just let it go.
Got stuck in between. No, got stuck in between the two. Is that the Star Trek fingers? Is it? You'll know that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live long and prosper.
Thank you. No.
That's what.
I haven't watched it either.
Yeah, of course you haven't.
Can you do that? And I was just about to ask, can you go like that? And then can you switch it to go like that?
Yeah.
But a finger control, Tony. That's what I put in my Tinder profile.
Have you got a Tinder profile?
No. I think I had the app at one stage, but I never actually signed up. I just downloaded it. Oh,
why
you're out.
That. Oh no, you got to challenge that.
I don't know.
Challenge it, mate.
I feel like it's because also being from a small town.
If you got a challenge right now, you can challenge that. It's been a review. There we go. I reckon it's going to be out umpire's call.
I reckon it's 3 reds.
Okay.
Although you've seen my umpiring, haven't you, in the GoPro cricket video a while ago, how I gave that guy out who got an inside edge.
Yeah, you're dog shit. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's pretty out.
you are right on the fact that it's going to hit leg stump, though.
Yeah.
Unless there's a bottom. No,
And
there's no bottom
no,
edge
nothing
there.
there. Miles
Missing,
away.
says Padza.
No,
And also
oh, I
Hudet in the
reckon,
bottom corner.
I
Only.
reckon it's gonna be yeah, umpire's call. Leg. Oh yes. Oh no, 3
Three
reds.
reds.
But
Just
leading
no, but
leg.
it was close. It was close to umpires. It was on the seam anyway. Wasn't it? No?
It was at least hitting leg. It was the right call.
Now England are in a bit of trouble because they're 9 down now. They may not even find the new ball at this stage.
Oh.
And
ugly.
Ever since that first wicket of Stokes, it's hurt them.
Do you reckon they're going to turn on Bazball after this?
I honestly don't know. Like, as in for their next innings or just these two at the crease? Because these two at the crease, I think they're just going to have a bit of a swing.
Yeah, the next two. No. I know. I mean, like, just in general for the wider notion of cricket in England, basically the English cricket team. Yeah, okay, go on. Sorry.
I think that at the moment, the record that they've had with Bazball is still good enough to go, okay, we've been like that first test match, if they hadn't declared so early, perhaps it could have paid off, although that was more looking like a draw if they had waited a little bit longer. But I think the good news about it is it progresses test matches and you're going to get a result with the way that they normally play, rather than having getting to day 5 thinking no one can win it from here. It's just going to be play out the day and then go home. But we're only on day 3, morning session. So we're less than halfway through the test match and both sides have now batted. And Australia are about to bat again.
Unless James Anderson gets his best, which is 81, and Tongue gets his best, which is 45, we're going to have an English lead.
Tell you what, that last wicket partnership, giving it Headingley vibes. Oh, he's not wasting time, is he, Jimmy Anderson? Advances down the track, first ball.
Yeah, he wanted to get his feet moving, didn't he?
Hello, Hamish Bro says for show. Welcome in, mate.
Yeah, no, I made this video. I think maybe the 3rd or 4th video I made was actually a video about Brendan McCullum getting appointed as the coach, and it was fucking prophetic. I said this will be the best thing England ever did. They'll be able to turn their cricket round. Like, I gather you've never seen the video, but like,
it was back in the old days of you did one with, was it Israel Adesanya as well?
I did one about Israel. Yeah, I did. You watch that one?
Yeah.
I'm glad someone did. But I think both those videos. I don't know. I think that maybe I think they're both. I think the Brendan McCullum one has more than the Izzy one. I think the Izzy one's just over 1,000, but the Brendan McCullum one might be 1,800, something like that. Yeah. Not a lot.
I'd take that.
But that's not your jam, is it?
No, it's not.
Would you like it to be a jam?
I wouldn't, like GoPro cricket wise, I feel like I want to start uploading a few more of them. I've got like 3 or 4 that are almost ready to go up, but I just don't know when to release them. Cricket season coming up soon though. I'm a little bit excited, Tony. Get me legs moving again. That's the last wicket, and that'll be it. Tong's gone for one.
Jesus,
not
a great
almost
morning.
100 shy.
Jesus. And they need to get some wickets quick.
The big thing is that's a very similar way to what we saw with Australia. In their first session of day 2, they lost quick fire wickets back to back to back to back. And then England were batting by the end of that session. Now we're going to get to see about a 20-minute period where the Aussies are going to be going I don't know whether or not Warner will be going after them like he did in the first innings. I'd like to see Khawaja score a bit quicker than he did in the first, though, because he seemed
I don't think it's
his
game.
Slow.
I don't think it's his game.
But I think that's been hurting him a little bit in his last 2 innings.
Yeah, maybe. My most recent video isn't doing particularly well. It's doing okay. It's got
Is that you're not going to
9,400.
tell me that 9,000 views isn't doing too badly?
Well,
Like,
it's not. I'd like it to have more. I would.
that's
That's like
150% of your subscriber audience size have watched it. You know,
so
I
you
post
like
a
it
video,
every time.
3% of my audience watch it.
But people tune in for your live streams. I think that's your thing. Yeah. Also, when you have a good concept, you just need to put the effort in. Like, I know you put the effort in, like, just you need to put the thought into it as well, you know? Like,
good,
how are we going
won't
to make
lose
this
from
work?
here. Sorry.
What, pardon
cut
me?
you off. I cut you off. Peter said that they aren't going to lose from here, the Aussies.
Well, it's cricket, isn't it? Yeah. Probably not. I think, yeah, it's really, if they can set, like, if they can set over, anything over 300, it's going to be tough to chase, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If the pitch, although with no Nathan Lyon, although we're seeing that Head seems to be going all right with the ball as well, picking out actually more wickets than Nathan Lyon in the end and a better economy rate. So
Yeah, and
he might not be a bad option.
Yeah, they spread the wickets out, didn't they, amongst them?
And I think that's something that makes them such a dangerous side. They're not relying on one or two guys to clean up a side for them. Because I know that Jimmy Anderson, with the fact he hasn't taken a huge amount of wickets this Ashes series, people have felt that maybe that's why England haven't been as effective with the ball, because for so long he has been getting those wickets.
He hasn't. Maybe, well, hey, maybe you've just done the commentator's reverse curse on him. He's just going to come out and have a bloody blinder. What do you reckon?
Maybe. I mean, I'd like to see it because he has only got 2 wickets so far throughout this Ashes series.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is going to be his session. It's a quick turnaround, isn't it? Now it's not a session break.
So about 10 minutes. Normally the break that you have in between innings changeover.
What's happening in the chat? What's that?
I just saw you having a little smirk.
Oh, sorry. It's just my face. What's happening in the chat?
Well, we have got Tony's in the big league now by rugby debuts. We have also got Pommy's bowled have a nice lead in there, and also Aussies won't lose this, says Shane. Try for Penrith and set them 350, 400 to win and have 4 sessions to bowl them out. That's the plan, I think. And also any debrief of the Oz/New Zealand demolitions overnight in South Africa. Any debrief of the Oz/New Zealand demolitions?
We got pounded, apparently.
Oh, yeah, and South Africa lost to Italy too, didn't they?
Yeah, it was a bad morning.
Yeah, the whole Southern Hemisphere. Argentina lost to Georgia. South Africa lost to Italy.
Wow.
Fiji lost to England. Ireland won against Australia. New Zealand lost against France. So
how much did we lose by to France?
About 3 tries in the end. I think it was about 34-14 or somewhere around there. There were a lot of cards. I think like 5 yellow cards in that game.
Far out. Yeah, the state of New Zealand rugby, hey? God.
I saw a clip on the breakdown saying that New Zealand were going to dominate that under-20s competition, and they've had a close game with Wales, who recently lost to someone else as well. And like they kind of said that New Zealand were going to dominate, but I haven't seen that yet. We're still waiting.
No.
See the domination.
They're doing some good huckers.
That's one thing,
Yeah, that's top-notch huckers, fellas. Back it up on the field, would you, please? That'd be nice.
Tuolangi was like a bulldozer. Yeah, Tuolangi's a big boy. You seen the French number 5?
No, I haven't.
6'4" or 6'4.5". I think they put him down as 150 kgs. Scored 2 tries against. Scored 2 tries against the Kiwis. Born in Samoa, lived in France since he was 3. French international.
Are you getting the Sky Creative weird thing on your screen right now?
Yep. Are you watching on Spark Sport?
I am.
Isn't it great being able to watch it for free on Spark Sport?
Am I watching it for? I have a subscription. Am I not getting charged anymore?
You shouldn't be. Anyway,
Alright.
that comes up as a little freebie box because Spark Sport's going under.
Yeah.
So it's going to all
Yeah,
become
I know that.
TVNZ, aren't they?
So how are we going to watch this on TV? TVNZ going to have a sport app or what?
They've got TVNZ Plus is the application, and then there's a live sport or a live tab, I believe. You're
I'm
trying
worried
to
about
hold
that.
in a yawn.
I was. I was biting my bottom lip. Like, yeah. All right, we need some quick wickets off the top here, don't we?
It would be nice to see one, but it's hard to tell. Only 20 minutes of bowling. That's probably we're going to get hopefully 5 overs at least in somewhere around there. It actually looks like it's going to be a quicker turnaround than the 10 minutes that I said. It looks like it's only going to be maybe about 7. Although saying that we haven't seen any Aussie batsmen make their way out yet, so could still be the 10.
How many runs for the 4 wickets they took this morning?
So England finished up yesterday on about 280, maybe even closer to 290. I want to say 280. So they got about 45 runs for their last 6 wickets.
Yeah, that's very poor.
Not great. And from the replays we're seeing here, a lot of them were just cheap little shots into fielders, pretty much.
Yeah.
And straight to wherever Pat Cummins was, that's where the ball was going. It's free on TVNZ on demand now, says Shane. And 1014 went to Spark, RIP, says rugby debuts. And also, how much do you think England will need to win? Well, they're going to need, if they can keep Australia, the problem is theoretically bowling out Australia for under 250 is a massive, massive ask, but that's pretty much the maximum really they want Australia to be able to score here.
Yeah.
300 would mean that they have to chase down about 400 for a final innings, which is not easy to do. The benefit they've got is if they can get them out relatively early, they'll still be batting for a majority of their innings on a day 4 pitch. If they can pick up those quick succession wickets and get in about halfway through tomorrow. But 10 wickets needed by the end of today. To be honest, they've got to have them probably about 8 or 9, or probably about 8 down.
All out if possible.
Yeah.
That's fucking massive. All out. Because if they're 3 or 4 down at the end of the day, it's the best they can hope for is a draw.
Yeah. Unless Australia accidentally leave them too much time and Bazball strikes, Some momentum going. We saw a lot of guys get started for England and then just give out their wicket. Like we saw Duckett got out on 98. He's getting close to that century. Crawley went out on 48. Brooke just got the 50 and then went out. Then other than that,
how did Rudy Boy go?
Rudy only got 10. I think it was off Mitchell Stark's bowling, got the edge and caught by, I want to say
they're very different shades of white, aren't they?
Yeah.
The English white's like a very crisp white, whereas the Australians are a bit more of an off-white, aren't they?
Bit of a cream kind of.
Yeah.
Color. Which one do you prefer, though?
I like the crisp white, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm not much a fan of this caramel white.
I always think the caramel, or as you say, off-white, kind of looks like it's just an old kit. Like, it's been sitting there for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And they were like, get this one.
It got mixed in with a shitty nappy or something,
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
All right,
luckily, I don't put those through my washing machine.
Yeah, you don't have many babies around you, do you, these days?
No, not at this stage.
No, one day maybe. All right, let's get baby. I want Davy Dum Dum out.
Baby making. Who's my Gawaja? Gonna be on.
All right. Are we gonna get a wicket in this first over?
Well, I said that Jimmy Anderson's been struggling, so maybe. What's your prediction for Kawaja's total? I think he's either got to go out there and be a little bit more aggressive.
He's out for 3.
Okay, I was thinking about 16, but it's going to take him probably about 70 balls to get there.
I think 3 I think he's going to hit one of his first shots very nicely. Everyone's going to think it's going to go for 4, but someone's going to do some amazing fielding, and they're going to stop it for 3, and he's going to get out in the second over.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Now, Hamish, do you remember me? Says Riley, I do.
Hi, Riley.
You haven't been around for a quite long time, Riley. Back in probably actually Rugby Challenge 4 days. Remember when we were posting Rugby Challenge 4, Tony?
No. Oh, no, I do. Is that the rugby game you used to play?
It is, yes.
Yeah, I watched one where you guys were where George was. It was actually very entertaining. You guys were winning a game, but then you lost with like a few late tries, and he just finished it by going, "I'm fucking leaving." Basically, and stormed out of your house. It was quite good.
I know exactly which one that is. Oh, nice bit of movement there for Anderson, moving across the left-hander Kawaja. Yeah, that was our England versus New Zealand.
He took it very seriously.
Well, the thing is, that was the second time we had played them as well, and I think we lost the first game too. So, you know, tensions were high and didn't really work. Did it? Have you seen my haircut in that one though? It was pretty rough.
What's happening with the hair in that one? I can't remember.
It was in that middle stage of not quite long, not quite short, just not great.
What's the plan with the hair at the moment?
Keep it short. Keeping it long is just a hassle, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. See, I'm doing some old man yawning on you now. Sorry. Does it make you feel tired when you see me yawn?
Nah, it's okay. It's comforting, you know.
Is it?
Yes.
That's odd.
You know, because
Lydia's asleep next to me, by the way.
Is she? She has been this whole time.
This whole time.
She hasn't realised that you've been just popping on.
I told her. I said I'm gonna stream in here, and she was like, "Oh, it's fine." Ooh.
Well, it's a miscommunication. These two aren't the greatest at running between the wickets, I do have to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes look like they're going to get themselves out early on. I'm also known as Toilet Smithy, says Riley. Well, then, okay, it's been a little bit, but still sooner than that Rugby Challenge 4 content. Hamish is a bit odd, says Pads Ablaze. I feel like that is literally what I would put in a CV. I just put
odd
in the section about yourself, bit odd, and that's it.
Are you going to start what you need to do, mate? I reckon you got to try and get a little radio, potentially television work for a bit of Heartland Rugby. You know, make a little bit of a like, what do they call it? A sizzle reel of your greatest hits of calling good games. You know, then put it out there. Sell yourself. What do you think?
I mean, it's a possibility. I'd have to go start watching a bit of Heartland Rugby, I think, though, first. Get my knowledge up so that I can feel like I actually know who the guys are.
None of those guys have any fucking knowledge. They just go, "Oh, fucking McSqueal's taking it up hard there. He's a hard man from the meatworks and down in Oamaru. You know what they say about folks in Oamaru? They all have vaginas." You know. That's it. Yeah,
I haven't heard that. I've heard a different story about Oamaru. But
what's a good story about Oamaru?
Oh, no, it's not so much a story as just the stereotype of people in Oamaru.
What's the stereotype of people in Oamaru?
Well, you know the thing that you mentioned and something that they get sometimes, that, you know?
They get, is it to do with sheep?
No. When did you mention sheep?
I mentioned I just really thought you were insinuating that they had sex with sheep.
No, but that is a New Zealand thing, apparently.
It's a very much, I reckon it's a South Island thing. But what were you saying about Oamaru people? What do they do in Oamaru?
Well, apparently you can catch a lot of things in Oamaru.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like sheep. Now Stuart Broad's second over.
There he goes. Come on.
Arjun and tucks Warner up a little bit.
Yes.
And is there cash for talent scout, or is there much cash for talent scouts at local rugby? Could be a Storm scout get the next Warbrick? I don't think so. Like our local team, like I know that they've got a decent following at times, like because they've been winning a lot of their games. They're going to be playing in Pleasant Point tomorrow. If George wasn't working, I was actually slightly considering going to watch them because it's the first Saturday in a while that there hasn't been rugby on in the afternoon.
So why are you not going to go because George is working?
Because it would be all by myself, and it's
Just
about an
go.
hour away. And I'd look weird.
You'll still be so lame. Just go. Maybe talk to somebody. Go. I just thought just if someone strikes up. You're watching rugby. No, and you know what else? One thing you realize when you get older, nobody gives a shit about what you are doing. Oh, that's a nice ball.
That's a good ball.
Nobody gives a shit about you. Like if you're standing at a rugby pitch by yourself, you know how many people are looking at you going, "Oh, fucking look at that guy by himself." You know how many people? Zero people.
Many.
Because you know why? Because nobody gives a shit. Like nobody cares. Nobody cares. Yeah. People care about you and they love you very much, Hamish. But at the rugby tomorrow, there's not going to be that many people. You know,
no, definitely not if it's supposed to be rainy like it's supposed to be. Me and George, though, we might hang out on Sunday.
And, and the worst thing could happen, you could strike up a conversation with somebody, chat, get along very, very well. Go, oh, look, give me your number. I'm going to be here. And then you could make a new friend. How about that?
Oh, that's scary, isn't it?
In the real world.
I've only got 3 friends.
In the real world, a new friend. How about that? I'm here to encourage you. Yeah, go to the game. Go do it tomorrow, okay? But a live rugby.
Although if I watch the whole of the Ashes, they start early in the afternoon, you know? Excuses.
When was the last time you saw a live game of rugby? Oh, I feel like I've slipped lower and lower and lower as this game's going.
Probably like 2 or so years ago at the local club. I would say.
You need to go.
What about if I go to their game at the local club the week after? I think they're going to be playing here.
But can you?
Maybe. Oh, that's nice again. A little bit of movement there for Broad. Into the over.
It's a lovely over. Still 0 for 0 here.
Yeah, yet to get themselves a run. Hamish Bro White Burns win the match by 110 runs. Level the 3-match series 1-1. 1 to go, says Vishal.
Okay. Can I just tell you what I've done?
Uh-oh.
I've gone 2 ears.
Oh no. It's weird, isn't it?
Feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't hear myself, you know?
No. I've always been a 1-ear guy because for some reason I like to know when someone's behind me, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's
nicely worked by Kawaja for the single.
And that gets the Australians extending their lead.
Hamish, what time is the All Blacks game next weekend? They are going to be playing at 7:05 or 7:10, I believe it is, on Sunday morning. Have you gone back to the 1-ear?
I've gone front side this way, which actually just starts to cover my face now. Because then you got to.
Because your headphones are huge. So you know, look at this little one. It's a little tiny.
Yeah, but what about your headphones though?
Hey.
Yes. Well, you're quite witty, aren't you?
That sounded like it was like a job interview.
Yeah, you are. You're
quite witty.
Yeah, I'm upset. Not because you're witty, but Davy Dum Dum got off the mark.
Although now
I hit the bat.
Means that if he goes out, it's like getting a duck sucks, right? But getting in the low numbers of 1 to 5 also really does suck.
Yeah, but getting a duck sucks more.
I don't know if I've got a duck. I think I've got 1 duck in my time throughout my cricket career. Yeah.
I got plenty of ducks.
And our team used to get bowled out. Our worst performance, we got bowled out for 21.
Really?
Yeah, and
I
that
remember the
was like
first.
not bad.
I remember the first game of cricket we ever had. Would have been like 9 or something. I don't know how it happened. They had this weird rule, like if you, they wanted to keep it going for a while.
Yeah.
Like you lost runs when you got a wicket or something, but you could stay in for another wicket or something like that. Everyone got like 2 chances or something.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but you lost runs on the first time you got out. So you lost like 5 runs. So we had at the end of our 11, we had the grand total of, we set the other team 4 runs to get.
They'll do it.
Yeah.
It's like Sydney Thunder level, isn't it?
Well, are they a terrible team in the Big Bash? Are
They had the lowest ever BBL total, and I think the other team had to chase down about 17 runs to win.
Oh,
they got bowled out for 17,
how do they get
yeah.
bowled out for 17?
There's some decent bowling in there, but just some poor shot selection as well.
And I guess it's just like, because there are quite a lot of days where like 1 or 2 players will take bad shot selections and get out for. Oh,
that was a good ball.
How is not a wicket? 2 or 3 players will just get bad shot selection and they'll get out, but then 6 other players, 3 other players will get good totals. But it just takes one of those random days where everybody shits the bed, doesn't it?
Yeah. But like our old team, we were like developmental, so we weren't great. But like if we got like 70 runs in an innings, we were like, damn, that's a high total for us. Like our team they weren't flash, but we tried. How's that missed everything? I was actually in that South Canterbury development team with Cullen Grace. Fun fact.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The boys.
Good lad.
Yeah, he was all right. He was a lot younger, of course, but he was our wicket keeper. Oh, he's been cut in half as well. Cut him like a sandwich.
We've got to get a wicket here, aren't we? We've got to get a wicket here.
It's got to be close, doesn't it? We got 8 minutes. And I would say we've still got time for another Anderson over and maybe, just maybe, sneak another Broad over, although they will try and delay time. Yeah, that one cut him in half as well. It's nice to see Stuart Broad bowling, but yeah, I hope he's going to be all right. Good ball again. It's just doing too much off the seam at the moment. Moving away.
Yeah.
Those Oamaru, the main sheep shagging area, Western Taranaki, and similar to Wales. Not really, no. They don't actually have too many sheep down there. If you're thinking about the sheep shagging regions, you probably either go North Island, like somewhere around that middle section, or you go further south.
Fucking hell. Sorry, I'm just looking at that replay. Like, you can't tell whether this ball's going to jag in or go, all right, here he is. He's getting
winding up the crowd.
Up.
Warner.
He's feeling like there's some. I think Warner's going to take a strike here.
Oh, he advanced. Thought about the run. Sides against it. Those balls are so quick from Broad. Warner's reflex is not fast enough. There's a roof. And score runs, Aussie. There's Shane at the moment only having the 2 runs on the board for themselves. Another loss for Melbourne tonight, losing to Penrith 34-16. There's Shane. Oh, Pat Cummins. He's
bad night for the Warriors tonight, sadly.
Yeah, it wasn't. The weather was ideal.
The weather was ghastly, and they just couldn't play any code.
You know how bad I would have felt if that was the first Warriors game we covered of the season and they lost by that. Like, I don't know if I would have been able to do any other Warriors game.
Have you done it? You haven't done any Warriors content? You usually do a bit of Warriors content, do you?
We do. We did preseason, but we haven't done any of the actual season.
And it's been a great season. It's been a great season so far.
I don't really want to jinx them, but playoff time, I think we'll have to give them a look. We've done the State of Origin games, myself and Dad. We did both Oh, I did the first one by myself, but the second one he did with me.
Oh, no.
Charges at him as well, David Warner.
He's got another
foot movement.
ball. Okay. Look, I don't like to do this very often, but when I do it, I'm always right. Okay. This is going to be a wicket ball.
Okay.
Mark my words.
Now, normally in second grade, if you say that and it's not, you owe people $10. But
I'll give you $10 if it's not a wicket ball, all right?
But if it is a wicket ball,
you owe me 1,000.
What? 1,000? But
there we go. Wicket ball. Wicket ball, everybody.
Oh. I'm nervous. There, the cast were tensing. I'm sure 7 minutes for lunchtime. Can England strike? One wicket comes stroke of lunchtime, says Vishal. I'll tell you what, they're looking likely at the moment.
I can't believe I was wrong. I need to pee. Okay, can I leave and pee?
There are only 5 minutes remaining of the session, but it pretty much is, yeah. Second last.
I'll be back in a second. My eyeballs are floating.
Okay. In the time you're away, can you
I can't hear you.
It's gonna be a wicket. It's gonna be a wicket. I'll be back. Tony will be back, ladies and gentlemen, and during the time that he's away, we may end up. This is where Lydia pops up and says hello because she doesn't realize Tony's on live stream. But nice ball drifting across there. The English bowlers are pinning the Aussies back, and not many runs given away. And Warriors lost, switching to New Zealand on demand. Live stream, it's free to air for the Ashes live on Duke. There's Shane. And also, they look promising first 20 minutes, maybe 30. Nothing after that, says Bad to Blaze. Hamish Bro protest on Lord's Day 1 play was interrupted by protests. I did see that Johnny Bairstow actually carried one under his arm all the way off the field. Solid from Khawaja. But we might just sneak in another over after this. Anderson, he's got 4 more balls here, and they've got 4 minutes to play. So I think there will be just one more. Luckily, Aussies have that 91 runs credit. Hamish, what's for lunch, buddy? Says, Ruth, well, today for lunch, I had a banana. Tomorrow for lunch, probably going to be a banana as well. Or I might make a smoothie or something. I'm hoping to be up around lunchtime, but it might be a little bit later, depending on how long I watch the Ashes for. That's a nice drive from Khawaja. Is it going to race to the boundary? It looks like it's going to be just getting there. Yes, and he gets his first runs of the day. Moving up now to 4. And Sparksport lost the cricket. They did. Sparksport pretty much lost everything because they were giving up all the rights. I can hear a distant Tony. And he's back. A lovely shot from Khawaja.
Oh, I can't hear you. I don't have my headphones on.
Can't hear.
Hello. There you go. I can hear now. Hello, Hamish.
I was saying about how it would have been comedic timing if Lydia had popped up and then took the headphones and just started joining.
When I came back and I said, I'm back really loudly, I woke her up and she looked at me very angrily.
I can imagine that would have been frustrating, you know?
For her, yes.
Khawaja had a 4.
Oh, God. I hate it when that happens. The Australians get runs.
You know, rugby has gone free to air TV, says Shane. Yeah, there's a lot of ways to watch sport now in New Zealand that are free, which is the way it should have really been anyway. But they're just taking a little bit longer. That will be 1 ball left of the Sanderson over. It should be 1 more over after this, Tony, I would say.
1 more. All right.
I think we're going to get 1 more broad.
Yep. 1 more broadside. Good to know. Good to know.
Field's relatively.
How many people are watching you right now?
I've got 23.
23 hearty souls.
Love
are they watching the cricket or just cricket? All right. What's the lowest number you've ever had on a stream?
Well, of course, probably like 1. But for a long period of time, I think we probably had a stream that we had like 4 or 5 viewers.
Yeah, right.
Something like that.
When you were starting out.
Or even like Bunnings EBC sometimes has been a little bit lower depending on, you know, the game. Like that would probably be about maybe 20 or so.
And you do you do every ITM game into ITM Cup game?
Any game that doesn't overlap with any other game. Like we try and, for the Bunnings EBC side of things, we were trying to do like 2 or 3 a week.
Why do you say we? It's really just, it's all you.
I sometimes can convince George, he'll come around every once in a while.
We try and you're it's your channel, man. It's Hamish and the odd friend turns up. George, I haven't seen George for a while, actually.
No, he's been working on the yams. He's been keeping busy.
Keeping on those yams.
Yeah,
Yam time.
because he was considering coming around for the Warriors game if we were going to do it tonight, but then he said that he was going to instead be editing and going for a run.
Oh yeah, right. He's editing. What's he editing?
Yeah, he's editing for the Kiwi Lads Entertainment channel. We've recently released a video of us reacting to Gordon Ramsay.
I don't know. I know you have a gaming channel, a sports channel. I think I've seen both of those. I didn't know you had an entertainment channel.
we got a whole network, Tony. There's channels all over the place.
What's on the entertainment channel?
We've got.
No, I think I've seen you guys have a React channel. A React channel, don't you?
Yeah, that's separate. I did ask the question, do we upload the reaction video on the reaction channel, George? And he was like, no, it goes on the entertainment channel. I was like, okay.
What else is on the entertainment? How many subs are on those other channels?
Which one? The entertainment channel's on about 330, somewhere around there, I believe. And we've got, we've got reaction videos over there. We played a Wii Sports series on there as well.
Yeah.
We've had career modes on FIFA in the past and a bit of Rugby League Live.
The sports channel, what was the point of this? So when you guys were designing all this, the Kiwi Lads itself is all sports, right?
Yes.
But then you also have the Kiwi Lads Sports channel.
That is
which is different from the Kiwi Lads channel, which is all sports.
Mm.
What was the Kiwi Lads Sports meant to be, and what was the Kiwi Lads meant to be?
Well, so there's a whole history lesson that I can talk you through. In fact, we've got 2 balls, and then I'll give you the full rundown. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a wicket.
All right, here we go.
You can have your $10 back if there's not a wicket on the last ball of the session. How about that?
So all right. Ooh.
Tried to run it there, Warner. Doesn't get a Nathan Limas out this game and should be Ashes also because of calf injuries. Big blow for Australia. Says Vishal, and to be missing him, I mean, it gives someone like a Murphy a chance, but it does mean that they haven't got Gaza in that starting side, which, I mean, it's certainly going to hurt them because we've seen that already. England without a specialist spinner. They had to go to the part-time, but then that's where Travis might get a little bit more bowling because he, for me, even though he gets called a part-time spinner, he's still a very capable spinner. He
looks like it, doesn't he?
Mm.
Oh,
great shot. Should have set a boundary, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
They're racing away to the rope. End of the session. 12 for none. Australia will be sitting.
Yeah, the Aussies are up. All right, so tell me the history before I bid you adieu.
Okay, so history lesson starts on the Kiwi Lads main channel. We used to be called the Musketeers on this channel, in which we used to upload. You've seen a couple maybe of the snowboarding ones from way back in the day.
I may have, yeah.
But then also we used to upload gaming videos. Problem was my laptop couldn't record gaming without crashing. So what it would be is a 1-minute compilation of our faces making weird noises and saying funny stuff. And that would be a video.
Are those videos still available?
No, they are not. They are on private.
All right, yeah.
There was also a little stage of pool compilations of us playing pool. Okay. And they were also very short, snappy little videos. Some very entertaining stuff in those. They are also on private.
Why are they so entertaining but on private?
Well, because of the things that are said in them.
I think George went into great detail about his relationship with a prostitute the other day. So I think you could.
Yeah, they could be worth a re-release at some stage in the future,
Yeah.
perhaps.
How I hope that sorted itself out.
Yeah, I don't think she's messaged again. Which is good
All
for
right,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound like he was getting himself in some hot water there.
Yes.
I was
But
worried
yeah,
about that. I was like, I did not expect it. I was like, tell me about this lady. And it's like, well, she's a working girl. I was like, fuck me. Jeez.
Yeah, he overshared, some would say, in that scenario.
Yeah, it's all good. No judgment.
Yeah, then we started posting some rugby content, a little bit of rugby challenge and whatnot, and that was at the point where we decided a name change is in need, because there were about 10,000 Musketeers YouTube channels. So we then changed the name to the Musketeers, the Kiwi Lads, aka the Musketeers. That was the title, because you had to have that for a little bit so that our previous 7 subscribers knew where they could find us. And then after that, we were posting rugby challenge and whatnot, so that was all good. Then back in those days, Kiwi
what kind
Lads
of views
Sport,
were these? What kind of views are these videos getting?
which ones, the rugby challenge or the pull ones?
Well, not, yeah, the pull ones.
Maybe like 50. You know,
right? Yeah.
Which isn't really much less than I get sometimes on some of my current videos. But yeah, so then we started up the Kiwi Lads Sport, but at the time it was called the Kiwi Lads Podcast, in which we had a podcast that released 8 episodes that are on private.
Why are they all on private?
Because of what's said, but also just because they are a little bit cringy, you know.
All my shit's cringy.
So then that had 8 episodes. Then that became the backup channel for the main channel and became the Kiwi Lads Sport, because of an original copyright strike we got. That then meant that we had to fire up on the second channel to be able to post stuff based around, I think it was the October internationals last year.
Yeah, right. So that channel then became Kiwi Lads Sport, or that channel then became the Kiwi Lads?
That channel then became Kiwi Lads Sport, and then the main channel eventually went from the AKA to just the Kiwi Lads, cutting it out. I believe that was when we were on about 500 subscribers.
So how many channels are there? So like, look at me this right. So there's the Kiwi Lads, Kiwi Lads Sport, Kiwi Lads Gaming.
Yep, which came in a little bit later than the other ones, and that did start as Kiwi Lads Gaming, then switched to entertainment, but then went back to gaming, and then went to entertainment again.
So but now there's a gaming and an entertainment channel.
No, the Kiwi Lads Gaming has become the entertainment channel, but it has got gaming still on it from when it was the gaming channel. Those videos have not been privated.
Okay.
And then there's also
a gaming channel. What is the entertainment? So you guys can do like review of movies and stuff? Well, what's the plan?
I guess it's just called entertainment to broaden it from gaming. I believe is George's.
You've never watched a movie. What? Oh god.
Scooby-Doo reviews over there.
Scooby-Doo reviews.
And then there was Kiwi Lads Reacts, which we reacted to one video, which was Richie Moonga going God mode. So that was the channel. We also had the Kiwi Lads Clips, which has about 4 clips on it.
So why do you guys make these channels and then do nothing on them?
Well, I think it's all down to time, you know, or just...
What you're making them, though? You make them, you go, we'll put all this stuff on them, and then you're like, oh, I actually don't have time to do it.
Well, it's more, George is he gets an idea and he likes the idea of it, and then he forgets about that idea and goes to the next, which is why the Kiwi Lads Gaming became the entertainment to the gaming to the entertainment to posting, from gaming to reactions to vlogs to now back to reactions.
It sounds like he has ADHD. Does he have ADHD?
I don't think so. He might.
No, I think he does.
It's on the verge.
I'd put money on it, to be honest with you.
Jerking off your microphone, Tony.
Yeah, it does look like. Is it making noise? Sorry.
A little bit.
I reckon that's very ADHD behavior. That, like, having an idea and being really obsessed by it, and then not quite putting enough effort to like pull it off.
Mm.
So yeah. So there's the gaming, the entertainment channel. And how many subscribers have you got? Oh, so Kiwi Lads has 20,000 subscribers, which I think is really the only thing you should. I think you should keep one of your other channels just in case, like for like the other night where you're like, oh man, we've got copyright strike, but I still want to be here with you guys. You still got quite a lot of people on your how many subscribers are on the sport channel?
1,400 now.
So is it monetized?
Yeah.
Is it really monetized?
Oh,
I tried to.
yeah.
I
Yeah, I
don't.
think so.
Is it monetized? Is it? Because
it might
I don't
have
think it
been,
is.
but now I haven't updated. Like, I may have not ticked the box that says, like, do you agree to newest YouTube rules from like 3 months ago?
I remember feeling really sorry for you, the other night when you had your copyright strike, and I was like, oh shit, I'll throw him a few shekels, I couldn't do it. The little money signal wasn't there.
So yeah, I probably haven't updated the thingy on it to say that I can receive things. But then saying that, I hadn't used that channel for a while anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Oh, mate. Well, anywho, look, lovely to chat with you. Lovely to watch a bit of cricket and shoot said shit with you. And those 23 people who are watching, I hope you enjoy the rest of the Ashes. And we'll do another session, eh?
Today?
No, not today. I'm going to sleep.
No, I think I'm only a one session wonder for today as well.
How many are you going to a full day at any stage?
I'm thinking either day 4 or 5, depending on what's happening during the day. Because I've got a couple days with the house to myself, because my parents have gone to get me sister. So until they're home,
where is your sister?
Palmy North.
Oh, is she at uni?
No, she was working in the courthouse. So be on your best behaviour.
Palmy North is such a shithole. Why would she go to like? Have you been there before?
Ages ago for something when I was like 12.
She should go to anywhere else in the country. It sucks in Palmerston North. No offense.
No,
is she quite happy though?
Oh, she's actually leaving there now. She ain't going back.
Oh, where's she going now?
Well, she's coming down south for a few weeks and then heading off on I think it's like a 4-month trip around Europe. Something like that.
Nice. That's cool. How old is she?
She is 25.
So she's a little bit older than you.
Yeah, and a lot wiser.
Do you get along well with her?
Yeah, she's all right. I think.
Does she have a fella?
No, she doesn't.
All right.
No matter how much some of the boys in the chat offer, she's okay for now.
Has she ever piped up on one of these before?
She's been in chats, like in terms of like in the messaging, or like people who she's been with has been in the chat, but she hasn't been on a live stream. No.
Okay. Well, Hamish, I'm gonna have to love you and leave you. Good on you.
Alrighty.
Well done.
Thank
Great
you.
to see you, my friend. I will see you again very shortly. I'm sure I will. But any last words before I leave?
Well, I would be disappointed if I don't see you looking up Scooby-Doo within the next kind of couple of days, or at least, hey, I've watched the Scooby-Doo movie. Does that count? I think I've watched both of them.
I think I've watched enough Scooby. He isn't it? I think I've watched enough Scooby-Doo in my time.
Although the Scooby-Doo movie with Rowan Atkinson's almost as close as like kind of ghost that you can get, because they like have the people going into different bodies and then like doing some weird stuff,
Yeah, it is odd, isn't it? It's an odd film. Was that Scooby? That's not the first movie though, is it? It's like the second or third.
Yeah, I think the first one, I can't actually remember the first one. I'll probably watch it after this, but second one, I know that they go to that island where he's
what
chilling.
What time are you going to go to bed tonight? What time are you going to sleep tonight?
Probably like 6.
6 a.m.
Yeah, because I might go on the treadmill soon and then have a snack and then probably do some editing, watch some Ashes.
You're a madman. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get off the stream. I'm gonna nudge Lydia, and then I'm gonna roll into the
apologize as well because you woke her up.
If I apologize for everything I did wrong, I'd spend my entire life apologizing. So,
I believe it.
You better. All right, brother. You take it easy, champ. See you later, bud.
Alrighty. See you later.
See you, mate. Ta-da.
Bye. Nonetheless, ladies and gents, I think that I am just about to head off as well after the first session has been completed. 12 runs for the Australians, going at 2 and over. At the moment, I think the Cats are up by a bit, so that's consolation. I did see earlier on that you did say about how you were an angry or cranky Melbourne Storm fan. Hello, says Summer Pun. Hopefully I said that correctly. And also, that's where I live, says Beds Ablaze. About Palmerston North, and isn't Owen Morgan Welsh? Is he? Or he's Irish/English, isn't he? Is that correct? I'm going to be myself, says Beds Ablaze. And also we have got there, what did she do at the courthouse? She was a courthouse registrar, I believe. So she was the one who was helping, or one of the many who were helping prepare the cases and everything for the judges and everything along those lines. So she's still doing some study to do that, but also going overseas. In the future, where's Kerr, Tony, Nate, and David today? Well, Tony was on the stream. That was Tony in the bottom corner. Kerr, we haven't seen in a little while, but he has been very busy with work from what I've heard. Nate, probably a bit of a surprise not to see him. Could be working. And then David, he popped in yesterday for the Ashes, but he hasn't popped in today. So, yeah, that's the catch-up on the regulars, I guess you could say. And Panthers taking selfies with the crowd are getting more fans down south, says Annoying. I think the Aussie spinners are having a great game here, says Ruth. And yeah, it's going to be a big hit not having Nathan Lyon. Of course, they would have loved to have him out there. Now with him missing, it's going to be a lot of work to do for the other Aussie bowlers when it does come around to them bowling again. But nonetheless, I think that is going to be the end of day 3 for ourselves on the channel. I have appreciated each and every one of you for being here once again. And yeah, tomorrow we are going to be back with a little bit more action. Alongside that, I believe we have got day 5, a little bit more in the future that we will be covering, which I feel like it's going to be a very eventful day with the way that this test match is shaping up. New Zealand Ashes live stream coverage, TVNZ Ashes live stream coverage is amazing, says Shane. Just me today, says Pads Ablaze. And there as well. But nonetheless, do thank you all very much for tuning in. We'll see you all for the next one.